Today, we are so excited to have our old friend and former Nintendo coworker, Pete, on to tell us all about his glory days working as a writer on Nintendo Power. Wow. He was there when everything kind of started with Nintendo Power back in the old days when it was still within Nintendo. So he just has a ton of secrets. Stories.
We are wrapping up interview month with a bang. This is a really great interview that we did. We're in Germany right now, if you didn't know.
Yes.
Guten Tag,
Guten
as
Tag.
Jeff Keighley would say.
It is Tag right now, actually.
Right now it is. It actually
Later
is.
on tonight, though.
Well, we're not going into what that is.
It's not going to be
but
Tag
excited
anymore.
to have Pete join us. And you know what? Pete might be back because
I was going to say,
we worked with Pete for a number of years after he left Nintendo Power and he went on to do a lot of other things at Nintendo. So he might be back.
He has more stories to tell.
Special recurring guest, TBD.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Always good to get all of these guests back on because I think that was the big learning from Guest Month.
What?
Is that
people
all
have
these
a lot to
people
say.
have more stories to tell.
Well, there may have been a breakthrough with the guests, which is that I may have had a breakthrough with Mr. David Wise. We shall see.
Yay.
But some things may have changed. And
we're on the edge of our seats here.
We may be in a better position for David Wise to potentially join us someday, not like next week, but someday.
Way to be as vague as absolutely possible.
I'm feeling good. I'm giving myself an out.
David Wise is actually here at Gamescom.
Yeah, and you said I should just go I should just go wandering through the streets. Oh, David.
I didn't say that. Kevin Bayless told you to do that.
Oh, David, are you here? I'll just start knocking on doors. Are you David?
You know what David looks like.
Are you David?
It's like the real David Wise. Please stand up.
Yeah, it's going to be something like that. Shout out to our Patreon subscribers, patreon.com/Kit Krysta, who got our special behind the scenes of you absolutely wandering blindly through a German grocery store yesterday.
I was picking up candy. You can get my candy haul exclusively on Patreon. The candy here is flowing.
Well, jet lag is merely a figment of your imagination. If you believe that it does not exist, you will be fine. You unfortunately were not, and you were just absolutely witless going through this German grocery store in search of gummy bears or something. I don't know.
Haribo
and shampoo. That was your shopping list.
I bought both things.
Great shopping list.
And it was very inexpensive.
Okay.
The shampoo was $2.
Why don't you go read us your receipt? That sounds like excellent podcasting.
And the candy, it was like 77
Haribo,
cents.
79 cents.
It was
shampoo,
very inexpensive.
€2.
I liked it.
Wow, scintillating stuff.
It is.
You're at the top of your game. Nobody's doing it like you.
Saving so much money.
Nobody's doing it like you.
Wow.
So we are recording this on
Tuesday.
Local time Tuesday.
Local time Tuesday.
Later today, we have Jeff Keighley's opening night live.
Yes.
Which is the start of Gamescom.
It's very late in the evening, though. It starts at 8, which is
he's
crazy.
got to find a time that works for the global audience, I understand. But it is.
I like to be in bed earlier than that.
It is a long night for us as we still try to acclimate to the time zones.
That's true. We got in yesterday, so we had a little time to get our wits about us.
He's been like teasing and talking about stuff that's going to be. I think it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, I think so too. We really had a lot of fun last year, and then it's kind of a later night, and then tomorrow is the real sort of the first day of the show, and we're planning to just do a ton of videos. We're gonna do our big vlog, obviously, but every day hopefully we'll be posting some videos of the games that we're trying out and playing, and giving you our real time impressions of the things happening at Gamescom, which is exciting.
Now, we're not on our normal set, and I'm watching you as your feet did not touch the ground in this strange chair that you're sitting in. What a way to live. Wow.
If I sit all the way back, I'm very far from the ground.
So back to the matter at hand. So we had been wondering, might there be a Nintendo Direct or some sort of announcement leading into Gamescom? Because that literally what happened last year with
the
Kirby
Air
Riders.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like that's happening this time.
Seems like that may not be happening.
I think the ship has sailed on maybe that.
There's still time for the 15-minute, this is Miyamoto, here it is, bam,
the
sort of thing.
tweet.
But maybe that is not the case.
Yeah, I don't think we should pin our hopes and dreams on that.
I mean, at this point, I'm fine.
We have
plenty of other things to do and
stuff to see that I'm really excited about. So who cares what they're getting up to?
Yeah, we'll get back on the Ninty D watch when we get back.
Yes, I think we should. Yeah, I think that is hopefully coming up soon because we still need to learn some stuff about Ninty's holiday plans.
Now, we had kind of a Sophie's choice this week because we're here in Germany for Gamescom, but back home in San Francisco,
Pokemon World.
there is like a big week of Pokemon stuff that is happening. That's like, ooh, we probably would have been deep in that if we were not here. It's a shame that these things happened at the exact same time.
It's too bad, especially because it's in our home city.
Yeah.
And we saw that they're doing some cool stuff like within, that area and they have like all the exclusive merch, and they're doing a cool baseball game at our giant stadium where you can get jerseys and things like that. So we were like kind of bummed out, but hopefully people that are there have a great time.
Yeah, report back if you were there and let us know how it was.
Place.
There was no Machamp merch this year, so I wasn't terribly interested in that.
Yeah, you got some good Machamp merch last year.
That Machamp doodad that I showed last week that you said
built it.
Under no circumstances would you build it. Days later, there you were building it.
It's actually a lot easier than
What do you have to say about that?
Remember we were looking at it and it was a lot fewer pieces.
It was a lot easier, actually.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Because
I am eternally grateful that you did that for me. Thank you. I'm saying that right now. Thank you very much. I deeply appreciate it. But why would you go so far as to say, get away from me with that?
I never said that.
You said something very
I only said that because you asked me to do like 4 other things, which I also did.
And then you were like, oh, I'm going to try and do the DK challenge for you, which I never asked you to do that.
You did.
No, I didn't.
On the podcast.
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, roll the tape,
No, I
people.
didn't. And I felt bad when I saw you trying to do it. I was like, please stop.
Well, I couldn't do it.
Okay.
It was very difficult.
You shouldn't have.
Some of those Bonanza challenges were extremely difficult.
Yes.
And people were saying like they have put in some work to get their physical cards.
Yeah.
So Nintendo's not fooling around here. They really want you to
Well, they don't.
complete
They
the
want.
challenges.
You think they want to be mailing this all over?
That's true. They got to make it.
The 48 contiguous United States.
I was gonna say they need to make sure that there is like some ceiling.
Is this eligible in Hawaii and Alaska? Did they read the fine print enough?
Oh, it doesn't say. Is it contiguous or no?
I don't know. No, I think it is. I think it's anywhere.
The word contiguous is
How
so
lazy
weird.
can we get?
It's so weird.
How lazy can we get?
But yes.
Yeah.
What else is happening?
We have coming up when we get back, maybe next week or so.
Yeah.
We did record this before we left, our Nintendo story time for the month. One that you've been itching to do. Tales from an Expense Report. What is this?
Well, it sounds really boring because you hear expense reports and you're like, that's really boring.
Oh, this goes back to you reading receipts. This is your favorite thing to do.
I do love it. But you know what we've discovered? I discovered
What?
is that you can learn a lot about somebody by looking at their expense report.
No wonder you love doing this. Okay.
I'm very snoopy and nosy, as you know.
You are nosy.
I'm very nosy.
You're really nosy.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm very snoopy.
Sometimes I'll just be in the office, like doing work, and like, "What are you doing?"
You're very mysterious.
I don't know. I'm working. Well, I'm quietly attending to the task at hand.
You like to keep.
Again, if you need things to do, I'll be glad to feed it.
I have plenty
off
of things
to
to do. You
do this DK challenge.
You
Build
like,
this Machamp.
You like to keep secrets.
What's
from
the
me.
secret?
I don't know, but
I don't think there's a
very
secret.
suspicious.
I don't think
You're
there's a
doing
secret.
Some weird stuff over there on your computer in the office. What are you doing?
So I must be snooped on. Expense reports, though.
Expense reports are a great way to snoop on people, and I used to do the expense reports for a lot of the leadership team, as we say.
Okay.
We have some stories about Reggie. We have some stories about our old
you're
bosses.
gonna drop the bomb on Reggie.
I'm gonna
Can't
drop
wait.
some bombs. It's a chicken finger bomb.
Look
if
at
you
Reggie.
want to listen to the story time, then
chicken finger
you'll
bomb.
understand why.
Coming soon to KFC.
Sounds good, actually.
Yeah.
Kind of bomb are we talking? A fried chicken
I
bomb.
don't know about that.
But yes, it's really fun. It was a fun way to tell some stories.
Yeah.
From an expense report.
Okay. So you're looking forward to that. Lots more coming this week
Yes.
on location in Germany. And I know a lot of people are eager to get to our conversation with Pete all about Nintendo Power. So let's not delay. But first, we got to shout out our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Mint Mobile. I am so happy. Everybody's like, oh, summer's over. It's fall now. No, You know what Mint Mobile says? They say, forget that. It's still summertime, and they're still doing their summer sale.
Summer's still happening.
Which means summer means freedom. And you are free from the shackles of whatever nonsense these big wireless carriers want you to do.
The shackles of spending a lot of money.
No, forget that.
And all these hidden fees and all that stuff. You don't have to deal with that.
During the Mint Mobile summer sale, which is happening now, all of their plans are $15 a month, even unlimited. So get away from the gimmicks, the gotchas, all that stuff, and switch to Mint for high-speed data and coverage on the T-Mobile 5G network.
Ooh.
I like that.
Fancy.
I like that.
Fancy stuff. Yes, I love it. I love it that you can have an easy way to do this because sometimes things are very difficult with these big wireless companies.
No, I mean, they just looked at like what those companies are doing and said, wow, they're making a lot of mistakes. They're doing a lot of things that are not serving their customers.
Yeah.
So we're going to basically do the opposite. So again, we got high-speed data, unlimited talk. Bring your phone number.
That's very important.
Which is extremely important.
Don't be a stranger in your chat.
You can't, we've come this far. We can't be losing this number.
No.
3, 6, or 12-month plans and say goodbye to a monthly bill. All this overpriced filler slap.
Oh, the slop.
We're not having any of that. Forget it. Easy to sign up and get 3 months of premium wireless for just $15 a month, yes. And to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/KitandKrysta. That's mintmobile.com/KitandKrysta. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/KitandKrysta. That's it. There's no catch. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigs may slow when network is busy. Includes up to 20 gigs hotspot. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com for details.
We'll put the link right over here with the QR code for you to scan and also in the description below.
All right, no more delay. Here's Pete.
Well, we are here with, oh my gosh, one of the most special guests ever. Welcome to Pete, who we all work together at Nintendo. You have an incredible history and career working at Nintendo. And today we're going to be like scratching the surface a little bit and talking about your days at Nintendo Power. But we were just saying right before we hit the record button that like we have some other very juicy stories that we'll have to get into later and have you back on. But today we're gonna stick to the Nintendo, the very well behaved Nintendo Power stories.
Good to see you both. Yeah, it's been a while.
I know. I feel like it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah. You had such an incredible career at Nintendo, and it spanned like all these different eras of the company and all these different things that you were doing. But how did it all begin? Like, how did you get started at Nintendo?
That's a great question. Yeah, that one's kind of wild. I actually, a friend of mine saw an ad for working at Nintendo in the Power line, being a gameplay counselor, in like the UW Daily newspaper. And he was like, dude, you got to go do this. Because I was like, you know, if you asked me at 7 years old what I wanted to do, work at Nintendo was the thing. And so sure enough, I went there, interviewed for a gameplay counselor role, and I was like so green. Like, I mean, I was very new to the whole, like, the business world, let's just say. I was a barista before that. But the business world, I was like, no. And so I didn't get the job, believe that or not. I seriously, like... It's almost embarrassing, but I just like, I think I was probably a little nervous. I was a little like in my own head about it. And so like, no joke, 48 hours later, somebody called from like, I want to say it was Remedy, like one of these tech company, contract companies. And we're like, hey, would you be interested in game testing on Monday? like 24 hours from now? Yeah. Would you like to come in
tomorrow?
And I was like, that's an option? Like, I don't have to talk to people on the phone and I don't have to like, man the computer and all that. And, yeah, sure enough, that was my ticket in. And luckily my sister owned the coffee shop that I worked at, and I was scheduled Monday, but she was like, it's fine, just go.
You got
and lucky. So it worked out. I mean, otherwise, yeah, I might have like been like, no, I can't. Like, I have a normal job like everyone else. Can't just drop everything and go in for an interview.
And around like what year was that when you got started?
That was literally November 1st, 1999.
Wow. Y2K was looming.
Oh, Y2K.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And there was a joke, like, I remember we were testing on Game Boy Color at the time. And there was a joke that, like, even if everything shuts down, we could just, like, go out into the parking lot and still test Game Boy Color.
Yeah, handheld. You're good. All good.
That's right.
Wow.
And then how long did you do testing before you moved on to kind of the next thing?
Yeah, so testing, it's a wild ride in there, right? There's 100 plus folks. There's been a lot of like stories that have come out of there now at this point. Some better and worse, some worse. Yeah, so I was in there on and off, because they have all these rules about like how long you could work, and
Right.
I was in there for 3 years, and which sounds crazy, but like in that time, I think 2 years in, they hired like 5 people full time. And I remember like just desperately wanting one of those jobs.
So like out of hundreds of people,
Yeah.
they only hired like 5.
Yeah. And honestly,
Things
everyone they
haven't changed.
hired and honestly, everyone that they hired was higher up than me, or had been more tenured. They'd been there longer.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was a little frustrating because you're really pining for a job, but it's it almost feels like a game show or something. In fact, that would be a great reality TV show.
Oh my gosh, that would be like following a tester and then seeing if they can like get the rose at the end or something to get a full-time job. God, that would be painful, but yeah.
And then let's see. So that they hired 5 people, and then about 6 months later, I was super upset. I remember like having a conversation with my mom about like I thought about quitting. Like I didn't want to, but I was, it's taxing. It kind of mentally makes you feel like,
there's like no stability, so you're feeling kind of like I'm always sort of on the precipice of either having this job or not. That's like not that healthy,
Yeah. And like, honestly, it paid pretty well. I think it was like $10 an hour when I started, which like you couldn't like probably sling burgers for that price. And then I eventually got a pay raise to like $12.50, which I wasn't supposed to tell anybody about, but like that was like I felt like I was balling at that point.
Back in the early 2000s, that was kind of a lot of money though.
Yeah. Like I was like 21
I mean?
making $12.50 an hour. Like I felt top of the world playing video games, no less.
Right.
So 6 months after that, after they did the hiring, Randy, can we use names? Should we use names?
Yes, you can.
Randy Shoemake came up to me and was like, "Hey, I put your name in for this like other job in another department. We're not going to be hiring for the foreseeable future. I think it would make a lot of sense for you to take it."
Well, that's nice. At least it gave you a kind of a window, to go through.
For sure, legend Randy Shoemake.
Randy's great. I have no qualms
true
with Randy.
Institution.
Do you know?
Truly.
I think he liked me for a few different reasons, but I'm pretty sure what really moved the needle for him, and this is like I guess a good lesson for anybody. We were testing. I'm not even supposed to say like what games, but it's let's say it rhymes with Pele. So one night I was driving home. We were working like mad overtime trying to get it out the door for Christmas, and I was driving home, and I was driving a Volkswagen Thing at the time, like it was kind of known for driving quirky old Volkswagens. And it literally blew a head gasket like a mile and a half from my house. And so I immediately call Randy and I was like, "Hey, my car just," and I lived in Lake Stevens at the time. So it was like a nice little like hour commute, even with no traffic.
Wow. Yeah.
And I told him like, "Hey man, I just don't think I'm going to be able to be in the morning on time. I'll do my best to get there." Blah, blah, blah. Next morning I was there, like, I don't know how I got it there and got to work all in the same, like in the span, but I got into work at 8 a.m. the next morning, and he saw me and he was like, "Hey, I thought you weren't supposed to be here." And I was like, "Yeah, I just made it work out." And he was like, "All right, noted." And he was like kind of one of those old school guys.
Yeah, Randy.
That's the grit he wants to see.
Exactly.
Yeah, the grit. He wants to see the grit.
Exactly. And And so it's funny. I play hockey and I go by the nickname Gritty. So
There it is.
it's partially because I look like the mascot for the Flyers.
Partially because I'm a furry creature.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so anyway, so he was the one that kind of moved the needle on that. So that was in a department called brand management.
Oh yeah.
And that was under Gail Tilden, who's like kind of a Nintendo.
She's a legend.
Yeah, she was a legend, right?
Yeah, she retired before I got there, but everyone would whisper her name in the halls, like Gail. Oh, Gail. We went to the lake house with Gail Tilden. I'm like, what is that? It sounds crazy.
So I shout out to Gail. I guess if she'll hear this, but I sat like 10 feet from her office door, and I like had no idea what I was doing. But like, you know, the first thing they needed, their project that they needed was they had 3 e-reader games. Do you remember this at all? The e-reader.
Oh yeah.
So they released, if I get this right, they released two rounds of 5 games on the e-reader. So it's like volume 1 was like 5 games, and then volume 2 was 5 different games, and each one came in its own like pack of 5 cards. And for those that don't know the e-reader, it's like literally you buy these physical trading cards and you slide them through this e-reader device in your Game Boy.
It's like a credit card.
And it literally, but it wasn't even magnetic. It was just dots. It was using dots to like make up the like 50K that like Donkey Kong was. And so anyways, I was on Series 3, and it was 3 games. It was like Clue Land, Golf, and like, yeah, it was really like they were hitting the bottom of the barrel.
Truly the bangers of the e-reader.
Yeah. Urban Champion was definitely in volume 1. We had to prioritize Urban Champion.
Do you remember that? You do remember that then.
That was at the front of everything. We had an arrow. It's like, why are we doing so much Urban Champion?
Yeah, Urban Champion was
what
not
dirt
a good
does
game.
Urban Champion have on the brass?
I love Nintendo games. Urban Champion was one of the ones that is not...
Yeah.
Did not hit.
Did not hit. But yeah, so then I worked directly with a designer. She was actually the design lead at Nintendo Power. Her name was Kim Logan. And we would sit down and like kind of like knock out these designs, and we started chatting. And then like, you know, as soon as I got out of product testing, because product testing is sort of like it's like a barn.
It's like an island in and of itself, you know.
It is. You're like
off. Separate entrance.
A corral, I think, is what I was looking for.
Oh, jeez.
But it really, you know, you feel so sectioned off from the rest of the company.
You really do,
and for good reason, because there's just so many like the headcount shifts all the time, and people come and go. Anyways, as soon as I got out, it was like I was trying to like just network the crap out of it, but I didn't know it was even networking at the time, because I was just like, oh no, I want to like meet people who work here. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And so she really liked me, and she was like, oh, I would love for you to come work at the magazine. Like, you would be awesome. Cool. Like, I think our production assistant is leaving, and I think he's becoming a writer. And he actually, his name is Chris Shepard, and he now works for Pokemon, I think, right?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
small industry.
Super small. So sure enough, that happened. And then I interviewed for the role. And honestly, the main part of that job was to take screenshots for Nintendo Power.
Oh.
Which it sounds
How did they do
like,
that?
Okay, so it sounds like it would be like a fairly easy lift, right? But it actually is tricky, because if you need a specific shot, let's say you need Mario Dungeon 7. Right?
Play yourself? Play through yourself.
Because back then...
Did you have debug?
You did, but like you couldn't have any of the elements that look like debug, right?
Yeah.
So like you had to do it legit a lot of times. And then... So on the GameCube, or sorry, I think it was GameCube and Wii at the time. The GameCube had no real like digital out on it, so it was we were still going composite or component. Excuse me, component was the best you could do, and it went into this really nice Mac with like really nice video card and a whole like raid server. And I would just record gameplay footage. So I would just like let it record while I'm like going through an area that, I needed the screenshot from. And then I'd have to painstakingly go back. I had one of those like little wheels that I could
and then like frame by frame
look at frame.
Oh my god.
But I will be honest, the quality was trash. like it just wasn't good. Like if we could have just had like a HDMI out, it would have been a whole game changer. Right. Because it goes to like vector versus like composite, which is like a mishmash. So literally
they used to have like wild ways for you to record. They would have like proprietary remember that DS one they had?
Yeah, like that's what I was going to say. That was the other part of it was that
you made it more complicated. Why not just put the thing in?
But that was actually my favorite, because you could get like pixel perfect screenshots.
That's true.
But it also had its own downsides. Like you could only record like 30-second snippets. It was like very short snippets. And so like it was much more painstaking. Well, painstaking maybe not the right word. Painstaking was the other one, but
it's like tedious though. You're like tediously doing like the task over and over again. But that machine was crazy. Like is this thing that chunky switch that you would have to turn on.
The dip switches, that
dip switch. I was like, what's happening here? Why is this like the 70s?
It's made for engineers for engineers.
Yes.
It's true. It was not made for like marketing people at all. It was just like a wild thing. It's like, okay, we got to get the DS capture in here.
Totally.
That's a weird thing. And this costs thousands of dollars. So don't you dare accidentally do something to it and whatnot. So your department has to pay.
Yeah. And I vividly remember also you could only like it would go buggy sometimes.
It bugs out,
So you get like, every 10 screenshots you'd want to like save and make sure all of those were captured.
Yeah.
Otherwise you literally would like risk it. And then like sometimes we would do like I remember doing strategy guides, which was pretty gnarly too, because you're like, you pick up any strategy guide and there's like 5 screenshots on every single page and they're all of like very specific things like, you're opening this treasure chest. And if you miss it, then you're start the level over again.
Oh man.
Pretty brutal. But so that was a fun gig. And then that actually, because the guy who did that role before, Chris, became a writer, it was sort of like he laid the groundwork that like, maybe Pete could write a couple reviews or...
very cool.
Yeah, so I slowly... And that was kind of that was my side ploy. Like I really wanted to write for Nintendo Power.
Yeah.
And I actually did get like my name in the credits plenty of times.
That's amazing.
Like I would say I was published probably like 20, 25 times. And
That's
even like
awesome.
even like a headshot from like they had like when we did the redesign of Nintendo Power around like I forget the exact number, but they started putting like people's caricatures in the magazine.
Yeah,
and I had one, but it did not have a beard. It was like babyface Pete. It was almost like I didn't like looking at it. It was like almost too pale.
Fresh faced.
Yes.
So kind of a vague question, but like, what was going on at Nintendo Power when you joined? Like, what was kind of the state of the magazine? Like, what were the going concerns? Just kind of day to day.
Yeah. So when I started, they were kind of going through a redesign. Like they had hired this outside vendor, not outdoor. That'd be weird. And they hired an outside vendor to come in and kind of redesign like the whole brand, and also the templates they were using of the magazine. And I know they'd tried to do it a couple times internally, but like it's always hard. Like if you do it internally, then like some of the upper stakeholders are like, I don't know if this is enough. Like they just don't like trust it. Whereas like you pay like $1 million, have the outside vendor come in and like, oh, you're doing it all wrong. It's like, yeah, okay. Everybody listens to them, but then it also looks like everything else. So it did kind of like, I feel like the magazine did get a little bit more like formulaic. Like if you picked it up, it looked a lot like Men's Health or something.
Any other magazine out there?
They did a lot of that treatment where it was like, like like words in like yellow tape with like black font.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and it wouldn't be like level. It would be like doo, doo. And then they redesigned the logo, which was like a huge thing, right? Because like the Nintendo Power logo had been so iconic for
It's
so
so
long.
iconic, yeah.
And I remember like sitting in meetings where they would show us like the different variations they had, and that was pretty
They
cool.
were all bad. They were
Like,
all bad or no?
No. The one they settled on, I think, actually was pretty good, and I don't think it really
Okay.
it kind of captured the spirit of the original. It had like the 3 like parallel
Like,
lines.
Bars, yeah.
Yeah, and so it definitely, I think most people were pretty on board with it. Even fans like didn't hate it.
Yeah.
It's also kind of nice because now, like when I see that logo, I'm usually like, oh, I'm probably in that.
Oh, because the new one, you know,
Yeah.
that's the ones that it was your era.
Yeah,
of Nintendo
exactly.
Power. Yeah,
Exactly.
okay.
In fact, I was walking through like Williamsburg in Brooklyn, like I don't know, probably 10 years ago now, and I literally just saw like 3 magazines like on somebody's stoop that they were getting rid of, and I was like, I think I'm in that, so I just grabbed them.
Getting rid of them?
Yeah,
Oh no!
I know.
Depressing.
Sad.
Yeah. So, like, it's the magazine was so unique because you were covering Nintendo, but you were also part of Nintendo, and you were like in the building. So, like, can you describe the working relationship on covering the company that you are a part of?
Yes, it gets a little murky sometimes, right? I think the number one thing is like fans were always a little skeptical, right? Especially of reviews.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, if you go back and look, like we had we had thousands of conversations about this. Like, it was probably one of the hotter topics that came up, and it was like, if you looked at like consistently our reviews compared to the general critics, we were always very critical of the games, and like, you know, sometimes we'd have our like random, like I think Metroid Prime Pinball got a 10. which you know, there were some reviewers that were a little bit more like let's just say new school, probably new school way of thinking. But yeah, I think by and large we were pretty fair and pretty honest about everything. I remember one time there was a I probably shouldn't even talk about this. There was a review for something. I won't say what it was, but it was it needed to be changed enough by an entity outside of Nintendo that the person didn't want to put their name on it. And that's ultimately how it ran. So, you know, I guess take it for what it was. I assume most fans probably figured it out anyway, but and it wasn't like you know, it wasn't like an 8 to a 10 or something like that. I think it was literally the score remained the same, but like some of the topics that were brought up were like changed around, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Was there ever one where you're like, this is a stinker, but I can't give it a 5?
I honestly don't think so. And let's be real. I only tested. I mean, I only reviewed really, like, we're talking like shovelware. we're talking not shovelware, but like, you know, stuff that wasn't not top tier. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Here's our first question from our Patreon community. This is from Iris Marin. Did you or any of the reviewers at Nintendo Power ever feel like you had to be more critical when reviewing Nintendo published games in the magazine to not risk sounding biased while the magazine was in-house?
Yes. Well, I guess there was always that concern of that, you know, backlash of like, hey, it's not being, you know, we're not being scrutinized enough. But I really do think it came down to the reviewer. There were some reviewers that were a little more old school and a little bit more like, I love Metroid Pinball, I'm going to give it a 10. But you know, no, I think there's some level of that, but I think in general we tried to just be as honest and fair as possible.
Yeah. Can you kind of take us through like the month of making a magazine, like from beginning to like shipping it, like how that happened?
Yeah, the writers would constantly have leads out there, right? They'd constantly have like connections, trying to like, you know, ping all their contacts at every company. There's a guy, Steve Thomason, had like a huge Sega connection. I can't remember if he like worked. I think he was a Game Informer prior, and he had a huge Sega connection. So he was always trying to pitch a cover. The cover was a big deal, right? You only get 12 of those a year, so like there'd always be sort of like a scramble to get like the big ones on the cover. And of course, Nintendo had their own fair share of like mainstays, so it was like, well, half of these are going to be Nintendo first party titles, right? So then it became even more important that the ones that we did feature were top notch. So there would constantly be, those early conversations, and then kind of putting things on the calendar. And then we'd have our fair share of like fluff, I guess you'd call it, like the articles that are less, timely and more like, I remember I wrote an article about the Wi-Fi connection, the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection on Nintendo DS, and like how there were 3 or 4 games that utilized it, and kind of how that was like changing the way Nintendo games worked. So there was constantly, the pipeline of like news activity that was coming down the pipe, and then aside from that, everything had its own timeline as far as like when it needed to be written, when screenshots needed to be due, when we were going to press, and there was also like, I was on the side of like finishing the last issue while the writing team was working on like the next issue. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of like, overlap and variation of what everybody was doing at any given time. So, but yeah, I still like one of my favorite things about writing magazine is that you literally are writing it into the page, and so you get to see it, and like if you like how the headline looks, or like you like how the copy wraps, or like you can actually like just judge it, whereas like digital now, it's like you write something in a CMS and then like you hope that it looks good on mobile, or you never know how it's going to look to the end user. So I still like, even when I write web copy now, I mostly write it in like Figma so I can see what it's going to look like more or less. So that's like kind of a holdover from that. But
yeah, because like graphically you have like a layout that you're writing into, right? So that makes a huge difference. Yeah,
and sometimes like the way, I think it was like everything was justified, so it's like sometimes words would get stretched out, or you'd like write some like super long word and it would look like garbage. So there's a lot of that like kind of fine tuning, and we had our own like editing process and all that. Like we sent it out to 2 different people that reviewed for copy, and mine would get hacked. Like it would always be just redlined, but it was always good changes. No. Just more like the way they were talking about it. Like use this or use that.
It really made you a better writer too, huh? Like, did you feel like you improved as time went on?
Certainly. But it's also like there's some element where you're like, a little bit, you're thinking, well, maybe the little bit of job security, like, like that somebody has to do this and that's their job.
Yeah, they have to make some changes. It can't be like, this is perfect.
Yeah, but then also, I think things, no joke, were more old school back then because it's going into print, right? So it's a lot more like, I'll use these correct terms and like don't punctuate this, or don't like there were just so many more like rules, and now like the internet has really just stomped on that.
It's like the wild west of writing these days. Just
it is
right with like abbreviation and emojis and all sorts of random stuff. So
I'm a big M dash guy now, but then like now AI is ruining that because everything I write now looks like it was written by AI. So
and to what degree like would you say you had like editorial independence, or like did you feel like you had like Nintendo breathing down your neck of like, all right, this issue needs to be the such and such issue, or like were they like asking to like check every small detail?
Yeah, I mean, the main ones that I remember were like, like we had a lot of weird relationships with different companies, like like Square with Final Fantasy, and like they demanded that every time that their name appeared in print, it was all caps.
All caps.
Oh,
Of course,
yeah.
of course.
So it
course,
basically made everything look like an ad. So you're just
Yeah.
like, oh my God, this is crazy. But there weren't that many restrictions. I know that, like, there'd be something that would come from, leadership that was like, maybe I can't think of any great examples of it. But I do remember like a couple times where something would happen, like somebody said something, or they want, less information about this, or we want to do an article on this angle, but we can't. Like they're saying not to do it that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was, I think that was more often than not what would happen.
Yeah.
They just don't want it perceived a specific way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was something that was interesting for us when we were, working with Nintendo Power. And obviously at that point it had moved on to Future, but like nobody at Nintendo seemed like that excited about the prospect of working with Nintendo Power or getting coverage at Nintendo Power, which I always thought was odd because it's like, I don't know, this goes out to like the hardcore Nintendo fans. It definitely serves a purpose. Like, did you feel like in that era, was there a real interest of like, yes, let's put this news here because it's going to help us achieve some goal?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think in general, at the end of the day, we were a marketing device, right? But I think on the opposite side of that is that if we weren't being somewhat real, no one would read it, right? And so it's kind of, I still use that logic in my like current career where it's like, you have to maintain that. My more recent role was in Switch News, and it was constantly thinking about that, where it's like you could you could put every single thing that Nintendo does on Switch News, on the news feed on your Switch device, but would that be beneficial to the user? It's like, probably not. Like every commercial we do, every trailer we do, the marketing, the classic marketing thought process is, let's pull every single lever we have, right? So a lot of it was like having conversations about like why we shouldn't do that, because it's like we do want to have a point of view, or we do want to have a, is it worth publishing?
Yeah.
There's got to be like an editorial side and almost like an authenticity to it as well. Like when we were doing Nintendo Minute, it was kind of the same thing. It's like, this is obviously coming from inside Nintendo. This is obviously a marketing tool, but we weren't talking about every game. We weren't talking about, every single, tiny detail. We were trying to keep it to like, oh, these are things that we actually like, that we think people might find interesting. And I think that process probably was part of what you all were doing at Nintendo Power as well. So
yeah, and I feel like if Nintendo Power was done wrong, it would have just been a brochure, right? It would have just been
have now.
Right. It would have just been like, hey, we're just gonna publish the things we want to do, and that just wouldn't have worked. Like it just wouldn't have had the same, like you have to kind of get on the same level and like have some element of like a point of view. And
right.
Yeah.
Here's another question from Patreon. You mentioned some of the illustrious games that you reviewed. This is from Kyle LaBeouf. What's your favorite game that you reviewed for Nintendo Power?
Oh man, I wish I could even remember. I like, oh boy, really putting me on the spot.
Or maybe just a memorable game. Maybe not the best one.
Well, I don't know. I remember I'm seriously failing because there were, I mean,
SpongeBob, Dragon Ball,
no,
Powerpuff Girls.
No. Now you put me on the spot like that. I mean, okay, I'll talk about the most favorite thing that I wrote there. How about that?
Yeah.
Because honestly, let's not go the review route. That's not. Well, there's two things. One was Chris Hoffman and I had a conversation about who our favorite Melee character, or no, upcoming Brawl character was going to be. And I was a huge Kit Icarus fan. I still am. Still think that there should be a
Remake that game.
Yeah, I mean they did, but it wasn't like the original at all.
No.
And I feel like there's still something there that could be done. But yeah, we had a conversation where it was like Solid Snake versus Pit, and we both like talked about why the other one would be better. Anyway, that was fun. My favorite though was for issue 200 we did a like top 200 Nintendo games of all time.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was in charge of like polling our writers and like literally we voted on it. We used like, maybe it wasn't the most perfect system, but we used like a voting process. Like the higher it was on your personal list, the more points it got.
Yeah, a weighted system.
Yes, weighted system. Thank you. Or ranked. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, we ended up with a pretty good list. I think there was like a couple funny things. Like I think like Resident Evil 4 was like number 4, which is undoubtedly a great game, but it was also like very recent. So it was sort of like little recency bias a little bit. But
what was number 1? Ocarina of Time?
Yeah, it was Ocarina of Time. Yeah. Which is very
Ocarina.
Applicable right now, of course.
It's always Ocarina of Time.
It came down to that, and I think it was Mario 64 or another Zelda. I think it might have been Link to the Past was the other one.
Oh, that's another, yeah.
But yeah, it was a good list. Like, I mean, I think you could pick apart, like any good list, you could pick apart things, but it's pretty good.
What are your memories of being there in the run up to and the launch of the Wii and the DS?
Yeah. Well, I could also talk about like when Reggie started.
Yeah, that too.
Please.
Although I don't really like, he didn't really impact us directly right away, but I do remember the whole like sitting in a conference room at Nintendo watching the I kick ass and take names.
Yes.
And just being like, yeah, like everyone in the room was like, what? Like this is kind of bonkers to hear.
We're tough now.
Yeah.
Hard as nails in the GameCube era.
Well, I definitely remember when the Wii got announced, the name, and when it was first shown, it was amazing, like the Revolution or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And then when the Wii name came out, I remember the writers kind of losing their mind. Like they needed to be talked down off a ledge, kind of thing.
They're like, this is it. This is over.
Yeah, like honestly, there was like a consensus of like, oh. Yeah, we need to start looking for a different job.
Kind of like how we felt during the Wii U days.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely felt like, is this gonna work?
Yeah.
I remember even taking one home because do you remember they did like a soft test with it at all?
I wasn't there then. I started in 2007. Wait.
Yeah, right. That's about the launch, right?
The year after it launched. So It was already like in market at that point. But
yeah, so I got to take one home, and it was literally just to do like like engineering tests where you're like clicking a button and it would like ping a server or something.
Yeah.
But it was at home. But they literally, no joke, like in true Nintendo fashion, it was like in a metal box. And you had to like bike lock it to your entertainment center. I'm not even kidding.
I'm laughing not because it sounds ridiculous, because it's so true.
Randy Shoemake was 3 feet away. It was chained to his body.
Randy Shoemake was like, "Don't take that in your jalopy."
But you did have the Wii remote, and being able to just be at home and like use this thing to like point at stuff on your television was just inherently fun.
Yeah.
And it was sort of strange how good that felt. And like, I remember, your pointer was like a finger. And I remember if you spun the Wii remote, like the finger did a
finger would
it went around.
Yeah. It was like very 1-to-1.
Which all of that was very like Nintendo and very like it's almost like how in Zelda, like just chopping grass and jars is really fun.
Yeah.
It was almost like that. It's like how did they just make this interface so fun?
Yeah.
That I never even knew that I wanted. But yeah, and I think, as it went into Nintendo Power, I think it was there's a lot of concern about like, how's my favorite series going to translate to this device? How's my favorite franchise or like this game that I really love? Like, is it going to be gimmicky? Are they going to make me like waggle or is there going to be a remote option? And, and I think the ultimate answer to that was what, like kind of a mix, like,
Yeah.
Like it served a lot of purposes, and obviously, like getting nursing homes to play bowling and things like that was pretty special. And honestly, like really cool that they were able to do that. And honestly, like give you like a gaming relationship with people you never probably would have ever had otherwise.
Right.
Like the Wii really did bring people together in a way that was like, it was honestly special. It was in the Guitar Hero realm of like, oh yeah, like everybody wants to play this, not even just like,
I mean, there was a magical moment when like your whole family played Wii Sports for the first time. Like truly, like my mom picking up that Wii remote to play tennis, like that's cool.
Totally.
I remember that moment you were talking about when the Wii name came out. I was working at Konami at the time, and we were actually working on a Wii game, Elebits. A great game.
That's a good game.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was a couple weeks before an E3, like one of the E3s where they were like going to show everything like leading up to the launch, and it was a laughing stock. Like it was a joke. Everybody was making jokes, but I think they did it like a few weeks before, and by the time we got to the show, that had kind of run its course. And I was like, all right, let's see these games for this Wii. So it was kind of a smart move, but yeah, it was kind of unprecedented of just like how much clowning in the entire industry was happening, even if you were making a game for this thing.
Who's laughing now?
I know.
Billions of dollars say otherwise.
Yeah.
So it's
Totally.
it's crazy though
Yeah.
how it was very industry shaking moment.
Right.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
remember which game I reviewed that I liked.
Oh
Yes.
yes.
Pack Picks. Do you guys remember?
Oh, that
this?
game is good. I worked on that when I was at Namco.
Nice.
Maybe I sent that
nice.
to you. Wow.
A connection.
How exciting.
And I remember, I think I used like some hyperbole, like this is a game that will be remembered for years to come or something.
And it
like
wasn't.
that. It wasn't, but like it is one of those games that like, certainly stands out like from a novelty perspective of like not a lot of games.
Demo-ish, but it was very cool.
Totally.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I feel pretty good for pulling
from
that one
afar.
out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another question from Patreon. This is from Catsily Nerdy. Were there any key moments during your time with Nintendo Power that foreshadowed the changes in how people access media from print to digital? Was there like anything that was like, oh, we're kind of changing? It feels like the whole way this medium is moving is changing towards something else.
Well, Nintendo Power was under the same umbrella as Nintendo.com.
Oh.
And so there was, it was like I think altogether it was like 45 folks or so that did that. And there wasn't a lot of like overlap between the two. Like there wasn't a lot of people that went from print to digital and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Although that was arguably kind of what I was gunning for my next role, which I'll foreshadow a little bit. I ended up becoming a copywriter for Nintendo.com and
Right.
all the microsites.
Yeah, that's how we started working together. Is when you moved when that office opened up in New York and you were doing that job. That's when we started working closer together. So I actually never knew you in the Nintendo Power Days. So this is all fascinating stuff to hear.
Yeah. So long story short, I actually, do you guys know Casey Pelkey? Have you heard the name before?
Yeah.
So he worked at the Tetris company forever after he left Nintendo.
Right.
But he was sort of the head of .com under Mr. Soboyke.
Ah, yes.
Another legend.
The legend himself. He was
That's
the
right.
sweetest guy. Anyways.
He's honestly like a father to me, no joke.
No, but he's like a father to all of us.
I can see it.
He saved my life. That's a different story. We'll tell that later.
All right. Maybe off air. No, but I think I moved to New York and went with the team and all that. And I think Mr. Soboyke felt like fairly responsible for that. So in a lot of ways, yeah. But anyway, so so the writer for the web left like a week before the whole shakeup, the whole like, hey, we're opening an office in New York and San Francisco. And so I went into Casey Pelkey's office and I was like, hey, I'm really interested in becoming the writer for .com. And he was like, that's awesome. He was like, this totally makes sense. So he was like, basically it sounded like a done deal. Like, you know how sometimes you apply for a job and it's like, it basically sounds like you've already got it, even though you have
like a formality to just apply for the role.
Yeah. Well, then literally like a day later, there was a meeting put on our calendars that was like an all hands with Reggie where the whole shakeup got announced. And
the move, yeah.
And so then like that, and I knew Casey wasn't going to go. And so like, it just felt like totally up in the air, like what was going to happen to me. So I was basically, I'm getting way ahead of myself, but it took the role for moving to New York without knowing what I was going to be doing. I was basically still a production assistant for the magazine, which no longer existed. So yeah, didn't fully know what was going to happen there.
Yeah, how did all of that office shift up align with the transition of the magazine over to Future?
Yeah. So to go back to the earlier question, I don't want to like totally gloss over that, but the transition to digital, it didn't seem super obvious, except for it was happening all around in media, right? Like I remember everybody, you know, we all have eyes and we're like paying attention to the media in general and like, hey, my favorite magazine just disappeared. Or like, you know, I
they're online only now or whatever.
Or they're like mostly online now and they only do it quarterly now. Or like, you know, I think like when EGM disappeared, that was a pretty big one. And there was just a lot of signs like kind of writing on the wall, especially as things started to get more digital. But yeah, let's jump into the other questions. Sorry, could you ask it one more time?
Yeah, it was about, you know, the transition to Future, and it all seemed like all of this was happening in the same time frame. So like, was that included in that news of like, hey, we're transitioning these offices and we're spinning off the magazine? It's just like, talk about a lot of stuff for you to like internalize and take in all at once.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. So they basically, of the 45 people that worked there, they sort of identified key roles that they thought made sense to ask to relocate. So I don't think everyone got that offer. Some folks did not. And I know that like they mentioned, you know, in the meeting was like some of your roles are redundant, basically, which no one ever wants to hear. And it was also like, it was a little unfair to the folks in Nintendo Power because it felt like we were being told we were being laid off, whereas like everyone else in the room was being asked to relocate. Not that like either position is great, but it was just like,
so I think went through it.
Yeah. I think right. Yeah, exactly.
They did it again. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so there was that. And then, you know, I think ultimately like 5 people said yes to New York. And that was for us. I think everyone was New York. I don't think anyone went to San Francisco, if I remember right.
Yeah, I don't think so either. We didn't have .com under the marketing in San Francisco. We were always like, wait, why are they in New York? It doesn't make any sense. It was interesting how they split that like that.
And I think I can't remember if in that meeting they confirmed the Future US, but they did say like outsourced basically.
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, and I think a couple folks stayed on and went with them, or were able to like transition there, but they had to like kind of fight for their job. They had to like interview with Chris Slate, I guess.
Yeah, it was Chris Slate.
Yeah, so I know like Steve Thomason, I think, went, and maybe Chris Hoffman and a few others.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool that there was able to have some continuity there.
Right.
I know a lot of folks ended up, you know, not pursuing on to the, you know, the magazine or .com. But yeah, for me, it was cool to be able to kind of carry the torch a little bit into, you know, the New York office was crazy. Like we did a little bit of everything. Like it ended up being the online, so Nintendo.com. It was like Club Nintendo, which was basically like not really. It was in an infancy state where the person working on it wasn't even really like involved, like wasn't going to be the person involved with it. And then
we had part of our team there too. Comms. We had a celebrity, and what else was there? It was social was born out of there. So we were the only team that had like members in all three offices, which was a weird thing for us. But
yeah,
they were like, you got to sit in all three because there's got to be a connection between, like comms, communications, and .com. So we were like, oh, okay, I guess so.
I think there's still some folks that are out here that are part of PR.
Yeah, there are.
Like Nintendo's not big into remote work, but that's like the roles that have been defined as.
Yeah. Like when they were shutting down the San Francisco office, they basically offered a lot of us, like me and a few other people on the comms team, like remote roles, because they were like, "Oh, PR, you guys need to be everywhere. It's fine for you guys to be remote." So it's interesting how they look at it, I guess.
I mean, it makes sense if you travel a lot, but
yeah, I guess so.
So the magazine, after the Future shift, the magazine went around for a couple more years. I think it was 2012. It eventually closed. Like, did you have any feelings at the moment about that, or was it just like, yeah, it seems like this is where this was headed?
For some reason, I think in my brain, I thought it was going to last forever. Right? Like, kind of. I guess I don't mean it that way, but it just felt like, there's going to be a way to
institution, right?
Yeah. I never really thought about post Nintendo Power. And honestly, the New York office was so busy that like, I didn't think about the magazine too much at all. I mean, I think we would actually still get monthly issues.
Yeah.
So I'd take a look. We had Francis. Do you remember Francis?
I love Francis.
Absolutely.
Yes. Francis was very instrumental in a lot of things that is surprising. So, yes.
So she would kind of loop me in, like, Chris Hoffman would still want to like feature my beard or something in the new, like, I don't know if you know this, but like I sort of became like a mascot in the magazine a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they took my picture for a bunch of random things. The funniest one, it wasn't really even me, like you didn't see my face, but I was in a Mario costume in a meat locker in Duval, Washington. And it was because they were Mario was going into like DDR. There was like the DDR version of Mario. And so we did like a little fluff piece on like Mario training to be in DDR.
That's so cute.
And so there was a picture of me in the Mario costume in a meat locker punching like a slab of meat, Rocky style. But I was kind of terrified because it was like, it was very backwoods. Like I felt like I was just going to get captured there, Pulp Fiction style. And
somebody's going to walk up on you.
Like the locker door would just shut.
And that's it. Yeah.
Be the last you ever heard.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, so interesting. You thought it was just going to go on forever, but it is still this like really powerful brand. And it does still like we did the podcast for a while that ended. They were doing like Nintendo Power branded mints for a while, which I thought was super bizarre. Like, do you think, like, how do you feel about like the current state of like, should they be doing more with this? Is there some new opportunity that feels modern and fresh?
Yeah, I think I might be wrong on this, but I think there was even some talk about like the Nintendo News on device. I think there was some talk of that kind of carrying over the NP branding, but
that'd be cool.
But I think that there's definitely some sensitivity around it, right? Like they don't want to necessarily just like brand everything Nintendo Power because it also carries some weight, right? It carries some like you don't want the brand to get
historical kind of baggage, I guess, whatever you want to, not in like a negative way, but there is some like expectation kind of that is attached,
Totally, for sure. So yeah, I don't know. I'm actually happy to see it like kind of own its place in gaming history.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind if it came out for the right things, but it really is hard to ensure brand integrity of something like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
One more question from Patreon. This is from Ninja11, kind of on what we were talking about here. With Nintendo frequently putting Nintendo Power covers on the Nintendo Today app, it feels like the app is viewed as a sort of evolution of the magazine, but it lacks the original content that the magazine was famous for. What does Nintendo need to do to make Nintendo Today more like Nintendo Power?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really comes down to like the perspective, right? The like Nintendo Power worked in my mind because it felt like this exclusive club, right? It kind of felt like Nintendo is this like, they're more open now than they've ever been, especially with like Nintendo Directs and whatnot. But in the 80s and 90s, it felt like it was like the Iron Curtain. Like it felt like you weren't seeing anything behind, like it was like Willy Wonka, right? There's like the factory and who knows what goes on in there. But amazing games come out.
Yeah.
And so Nintendo Power really felt like that like one entry point, especially pre-internet, that allowed people to interact with the brand in a way you couldn't otherwise. And it allowed people to like, you could submit questions, you could write fan mail, you could, learn secret tricks, you could learn who was working there, like gameplay counselors and stuff. Like all those things felt really unique and special at the time, especially given that it was just like part of, pre-internet culture, which we all long for now, anyone who was around at that time.
Yeah. The good old days,
Yeah, it just like everything was more homogenous, right? Like it was so much, we all experienced the same things versus like now it all feels like there's just so many little subcategories of like everything. No one, like you never know what shows people have watched now or like games they've played or anything like that.
Or like there's like huge communities of games that you've never heard of. It's like, oh wow, like I didn't know 100,000 people were doing this thing. That's interesting.
Right. Like Pack Picks, for example.
Exactly. Just like that. You and Kit playing.
Yeah, we're gonna start one.
You're starting your own Pack Picks community? Okay, perfect.
r/Pack Picks.
I support you. Pete, this was awesome.
Love this.
Thank you so much for hanging out. It was so good to catch up and see you. We've missed you.
The pleasure was truly all mine.
Yeah. This all started because you texted me out of the blue and you sent me a photo of this guy and you're like, this is like if me and Kit had a love child. This is how this conversation. I showed you this picture and it was like this bearded guy. I was like, this could be.
Well, he has like the dreamy Kit eyes.
Dreamy Kit eyes.
And the head of lettuce, but then like it was the beard too.
The big beard. You had the signature Pete beard, which was I was like, I'm so glad you reached out for this reason, but do you want to come on the podcast?
Okay, you gotta tweet that out now. You've got to find that picture.
Okay,
and tweet
I have your text, so I will tweet it out.
I forgot what it even looks like now.
This will be our promotion for this episode.
Have we talked about the Kit? I think I've maybe mentioned this to you before. I've like tried to spread it through the grapevine at Nintendo. That you look like Dr. Stewart from F-Zero.
Really?
Kit looks
I've
like
never heard
Dr.
that.
Stewart from F-Zero?
I've literally never heard this before.
I gotta Google this right now. Hold on.
This was the internal scuttlebutt about me. Okay.
People didn't like it. Dr. Wait, what is it? Dr. who?
Stewart.
Is he the driver of the Fox?
You know what?
Is that his vehicle?
My F-Zero lore has really gone down.
Oh, okay. I can kind of see it.
I mean, this is like an 80s version of Kit, obviously, right?
Okay, but Kit has to put on a bodysuit, yellow.
I think
the swoopy hair is very, is very Kit.
You've always had good hair, Kit. I think that's the bottom line.
Victor Lucas.
And a strong jaw, a really strong jaw.
Wow.
Look at the compliments.
Just in the compliments phase of the podcast. Wow.
The secret is I have like no jaw. Like my jaw like ends like there.
That's why you have the beard.
Yeah.
It's an illusion.
Exactly.
It's an illusion. All right. Well, I just feel like we have 1,000,001 other stories. It's like the Arabian Tales. We have 1,000,001 other stories that we're keeping under wraps for now. They get more and more unhinged, I think, as time goes on. So we got to have you back to like do this again, because this was so fun. And yeah, thank you so much for being here and sharing with us this amazing history of Nintendo Power, which I actually never knew about.
What a
honestly.
treat.
What a treat this was. Truly.
For sure. It's always like nice to be able to kind of like crack open the archives in your own head. It's all been compartmentalized.
It's true.
You know?
Yeah, so true.
And I forget like how cool it is, especially like if I was on the outside, I would be like, oh man, that's
my God, I know.
That's a fun story, a fun time period.
Part of video
history.
Game legend and history. You know, it's like this kind of like oral history stuff is important to just capture, because who knows?
The other thing we have to talk about at some point is my Pikachu tour.
Yes, don't tell them that right now.
Keep it under wraps. Put a lid on that.
I need to. Yes, that was on my list of like. Oh my gosh.
I have a lot of questions about that.
I do too.
We could probably just do an hour on that, honestly.
I
We
think
could.
we might.
No, that we will. We will.
We will and we should, yes.
We will and we should and we could and we can.
Hey, we're back.
Look how calm I am.
I wonder how many comments on that conversation we just had will be regarding Pete's magnificent beard.
Yes. Again, this whole...
Is this what the kids call being beard mogged?
Beard mogged. You got
Beard mogged.
beard mogged by Pete.
I mean, I'm not attempting to be on that level.
No.
I was telling you after, like, that is a lifestyle choice.
It must be hard to keep it clean.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's just like there are some considerations of how you live.
You gotta like oil your
that
beard.
it's
Careful when you
constantly
eat.
in the business.
What if you eat like a bowl of cereal and the beard is just like in the milk?
Yes,
I don't think Pete's
we know
doing
that we're
that.
just putting our face in the bowl.
What if you're participating in a bobbing for apples contest?
No, maybe Pete can be back to talk about his beard maintenance tips and so on.
He's had a beard for a long time. It's pretty iconic.
Yeah.
So.
But
Yes.
love that conversation. Again, Nintendo Power is a very important part of my
Many people's
Nintendo fandom. So it's very special to be able to peek behind the curtain.
Yeah. Another era of Nintendo where we weren't really a part of, so it's good to get someone else's perspective on it.
No, when we were there, it was the future era
Exactly.
of Nintendo Power. And
Which is
kind of
different.
The end of Nintendo Power.
Yes.
And then Chris Slate came to work with us, so
Yes.
it kind of lived on. But yeah,
Spiritually.
all those before times, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
only Pete knows.
Yeah.
The truth.
Only
the
one
truth.
person, and it's him. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Wow. All right, we got some news coming up, but why don't we shout out our other sponsor first? This episode is sponsored by Factor.
Yum.
And we are traveling globally right now, but guess what? I'm going to have
Internationally?
waiting for me when I get back are some delicious Factor meals, because there's nothing worse than
I
getting
hate that.
your routine, your very carefully maintained
Disruptions?
routine getting blown up by these disruptions. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I just came home groggy from an international flight. What do I eat? Not some junk food. I'm eating some delicious Factor meals.
Or just it's terrible when you have a bunch of food that has like gone to waste in your fridge because
True.
you're traveling
True.
all week long. So
Yes.
it's better to have a nice Factor meal that you can heat up very quickly. It's never frozen.
Yes.
It's made by dietitians and nutritionists, so you know it's healthy.
Yeah. Don't
Fresh.
choose between real food and convenience.
Right.
That's the important
Yeah.
message.
And
there.
you're saving money because you're not wasting anything. You're not letting stuff in your fridge go
No.
bad and stuff like that.
And we talk about real food. Factor has over 175 ingredients that are banned.
Oh no.
No, not going to be included in those Factor meals, and
Yeah.
it's designed around what creates, what goes into food that creates a healthy lifestyle, which
Yeah.
is wonderful.
They have a lot of different meals as well. They're always changing up their menu so you don't get sick of the stuff. And there's just tons of options every week that you can choose from, which is awesome.
And 97% of Factor users agree that eating these helps them to live a healthier life. So that
what
is
we all want.
some outstanding stuff there.
Wow.
Let's eat real. Head to factormeals.com/Kit and Krysta 50 off. We're going international with the 50
I can't
off.
clap because I'm holding an iPad.
And use code Kit and Krysta 50 off. There we go. To get 50% off and one free breakfast item per box for 1 year while supplies last until October 31st. That's Halloween.
Oh, don't be scared.
2026. Nothing
free
scary about
breakfast.
that. That's code Kit and Krysta 50 off at factormeals.com. Kit and Krysta 50 off at factormeals.com. See website for more details.
I'll put the link right over here with a QR code for you to scan and also in the description below.
All right, news. Very interesting news week.
A lot going on.
It's a real strange combination.
But
of
also
things
like a
happening.
lot of like kind of all over the place.
It is.
Yeah. Anyways.
Some good news. James Turner has returned to Pokemon.
Wow.
And he was previously, I didn't realize he had been at Game Freak for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And he was the art director and had designed a lot of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
He was the art director of Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
And then he left in 2022.
And made a great game.
I think great is maybe
Oh.
a
You didn't really
stretch.
like it that much. I liked it a
So
lot.
the game's The Plucky Squire.
Yeah, the game's
that
great.
he did.
I liked it.
You liked it?
I did.
Okay.
I finished that game.
Okay, that's fair.
was nice.
I thought it had some good ideas, but maybe was lacking. And
But
I mean,
you
the
can't,
art is
I was
beautiful.
gonna say you
Yeah.
can't say anything bad about the art.
No, I
Which
can't.
is what he was
I can't, and I won't. So he's been gone for about 4 years, and he's coming back. He will be the quote creative director of Pokemon art and design
Wow.
at the Pokemon Company. What do you think that? What do you think that means? Pokemon art and design. So is he in charge of creating?
I think he's creating
Pokemon?
new things, but also kind of overall in charge of all the existing art.
Okay.
Is what I'm reading into this. And he did continue to do some like Pokemon things for the Pokemon Center, like merch and stuff. Like
That's
you
true.
got me that shirt
Right.
that's like the Pikachu on the surfboard.
Yeah, he did do that.
And he has a very like distinctive style with the art that he
Yes.
was doing. So I wonder if that's going to become more, prevalent or pronounced in the future of Pokemon things. But I like James.
You tried to befriend him, like I tried to befriend David Wise. Did that work out?
It did. We do follow each other, and he
Wow.
comments on some of our
Oh, okay.
stuff. And
Wonderful.
yes,
I think this is great. I think during that era, you could kind of tell there was like a creative through line through
Yeah.
all of this stuff. It's like, okay, this one person is kind of having
responsible for it. Yeah,
right, keeping an eye on the creative side of this, and I think it was a good look that everything had. And again, like this business of creating new Pokemon just gets more and more difficult. I
I was
think
gonna say that it was getting
It's like-
harder.
It's like what's left?
You're running out of like options.
Right.
You can just put maybe 2 and 3, a chandelier and a Pokemon.
Right. Just like
An
look
ice
around.
cream
It's like
cone and a Pokemon. Lamp.
telephone. That's a Pokemon.
Telefonini.
That's a Pokemon.
There you go.
I just
That's
made it.
It's a Pokemon.
Telefonini.
Telefonini.
Yes, great.
Evolves into Telefonono.
It's powerful, isn't it? It could evolve from a rotary landline
Into like a
to one of your like millennial see-through phones, and then it's a smartphone.
And then it's a smartphone.
See? Yeah,
Okay.
legendary,
I love it.
legendary Pokemon.
I would use that in my party.
Yeah. So welcome back to James Turner.
Yeah.
We have some pre-Gamescom news, and one of the things that is confirmed to be at Jeff Keighley's event tonight is the Witcher 3 Songs of the Past DLC expansion. And CD Projekt put out a little video kind of leading up to Gamescom talking to people about what to expect. And it was expect a lot of Songs of the Past. Don't expect a lot of
Expectation
Witcher
management.
4. Yeah, I think this was a good
Yeah,
call.
that's good. People
On
might
their
be
part.
disappointed if-
But they did give us a little news tidbit saying that The Witcher 4 is targeting release in 2028.
Well, that's a long time from now.
And I had to ask myself, wait, what year is it now?
Well, it's almost we're getting to the end of 2026.
Right, and I don't
We're
think
past the halfway point.
I don't think this game is releasing on January 1st, 2028.
It's probably like holiday.
So we're talking about
2028.
2 more years to
yeah.
go. And
But I'm sure we'll see more of it
yeah, maybe
in the
next
lead up
year.
next year.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Would make
Yeah.
sense. I don't feel.
Are you in a rush?
No.
You're a pretty big fan of this series.
It felt like this was going to take a while to get going.
Yeah.
So I was.
So they announced this at TGA's last year.
TGA's
last year, right?
Was it the last year or the year before?
I think it was last
anyway,
year.
A recent TGA.
Yeah, okay.
But it always seemed like this is going to be a ways out.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder though. Like, so what system is this going to be on? 2028.
Ooh, PS6?
And if you're CD Projekt, then it's like, well, what are we making this game for? Seems like cross-gen would be the way to go.
You probably have to.
PS5 and
Six,
presuming by, I
presumably.
mean, if I had to guess when a PlayStation 6 would be coming out, 2028 seems like a reasonable.
Yeah, holiday 2028 maybe,
Sure.
or maybe even a little bit earlier.
I mean, if they want to roll the dice and do that, then be my guest.
Oh man, it's gonna be so expensive.
2028 though. It's like, yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think
we
you're gonna
might
have to make it cross-gen just because not everyone's gonna be able to afford one.
No.
Right? I mean, that's ridiculous. It's gonna be a ridiculously premium
No.
luxury good.
So what I'm getting at with all of this though is
How well is it gonna run?
it's going to be on a Switch 2. Is it going to be on a Switch 2?
The other Witcher games are on a Switch 2.
No, they're not. They're on a Switch 1.
They're on a Switch 1.
And if I'm not making a prediction or anything, but if there was something that I think would be at this opening night live, it's going to happen by the time this is out.
The Witcher 3 DLC is coming to Switch 2.
Just The Witcher 3 in general is only on a Switch 1. We need a Switch 2 version
Edition of The Witcher 3
with all of the updated graphics.
And you played it on a Switch 1.
I played it on a Switch 1.
And you said it was fine.
I mean, it's not the best way to play it, but it was totally fine.
Okay.
It's a little rough now to play that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you played that years ago.
And they've been so good at supporting all the different hardware and keeping their games feeling current, even though they're actually quite old.
Cyberpunk was a launch game for Switch 2, so you know that they see the
that game came out in 2020, but it still feels like it's
fresh.
Pretty bleeding edge in terms of the tech
because
they've been updating it. So I think that would make a lot of sense for them to also have imagine they have some trailer for this expansion and it's like, oh, and get the new Switch 2 version or update.
Switch 2 edition is coming
at some point.
Yeah.
So I think that would be very cool.
We got that for Indiana Jones last year during opening night live.
What are you talking about?
That's when we got our Switch 2 announcement for Indiana Jones.
What does that have to do with this?
I'm just saying, that's a good place for people to make these announcements.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you mean? It has everything to do with this.
People like to make an announcement through Jeff Keighley. Yes, I agree.
I mean, some people, not Nintendo, but some people.
Ads?
Is there going to be
Switch
ads?
2's got games?
Oh my God. It's got a Switch Sports
I was
if that runs at opening night live, that's so cringe.
I was imagining in some internal politics, if Nintendo ever did have some news to put out through Jeff Keighley at opening night live, because Gamescom is a show that's managed by Nintendo Europe.
NOE,
because guess what? It's in Europe. But the,
Surprise.
quote, Jeff Keighley relationship
is managed by Nintendo of America.
A certain person at Nintendo of America.
Which is part of the expense report story.
So what would the power struggle be of...
Oh my God.
Okay. I'm Mr. Bigwig at NCL. We agreed to announce this detail at Jeff Keighley's opening night live. What is the gnashing of teeth that would happen from there?
It's going to be so annoying.
It would be so bad.
It's already annoying to begin with when it's already NOA NCL involved in some kind of like TGA whatever. And that's already very
politicking,
dramatic politicking, power struggle, measuring contest, what have you. It's awful. Anyways, The Witcher 4 though. How exciting.
Yes, looking forward to playing that in 2028 on a indeterminate device.
on a $5,000 PS6
yeah,
Pro.
Great. Maybe you've noticed, but there have been some things happening in the world of Grand Theft Auto 6 that are not all great. So this week
is drama.
This week is the big Netflix quote reveal.
Yes, that's right. We were like, we're going to be in Germany during that.
Yeah, I don't know.
What day is it for us?
I'm not sure if we're going to be able to watch that in the moment, but I definitely will be watching it.
Yeah.
But it has been this kind of ongoing saga. This actually started around the time we recorded last week's podcast.
Yeah.
But I was like, I kind of want to see what happens with this.
It's been ongoing. There's layers to this / more dramatic things are happening.
But these leaks. So somebody got their hands on the game. There's somebody going by online. They go by CyberLeak, Leek,
like an onion,
like the vegetable, like a Farfetch,
but not as cute.
No, and they have
Sinister.
and nobody knows how they got their hands on this
Stolen.
game. And at first it was like, oh, they got some video clips of the game, but then they were
the game.
It's like, no, this is like legit gameplay. And they have continued to post little video snippets about it, showing different things. I think the one that most they showed was, well, I'm not going to say because
people maybe not want to know.
No, and it's ill-gotten anyway. So, but there's like if you are interested in seeing it, this stuff continues to live on. This is the thing. It's like you cannot delete anything from the internet. So like Take-Two and Rockstar have been trying like crazy to get rid of this stuff. You can't though. You cannot.
It's already out in the wild.
It continues.
And it's hard to, what they say, like get Pandora to put stuff back into the box. Like, you kind of open the box and the stuff is out.
There's a lot of this stuff that is very dystopian, where it's like this person is like, yeah, get my crypto meme coin.
And it's a picture of a leak.
And
like an onion?
Yes, and it's also, I'm going to tell you that, do not include this in the episode. This is purely for your, this is vile stuff. This
That it's like the worst.
This ad
like
for the meme coin.
Yeah.
But this person's also like, oh, I'm doing this because of gamers' rights.
What kind of rights?
Like it says here, no middlemen, real ownership, physical future.
A physical.
And I'm very cynically doubting that is actually their
Fight
motivation
for the players.
for doing this, that they're positioning themselves as some sort of a Robin Hood.
This is some crazy, like delusional stuff, in my opinion.
But it's a very convenient thing for them to be like, well, I'm only doing this because Rockstar forced my hands. And they're already talking about like, I didn't like how you were doing these pre-orders without showing any gameplay.
So now it's like a rob from the rich, give to the poor.
It's a Robin Hood.
I
don't like that you don't have a physical version of this game. Like, so this is your punishment, Rockstar.
Wow. There's all these other like hidden agendas though, which is nefarious.
Exactly.
Like, you can't just be like, this person's doing it for all these like honorable reasons. Obviously,
right. And this person has said that they will do this for other video game companies that also they're calling them their commandments, offering offline modes for online games, refraining from fake single player DLC. Not sure exactly what that means.
There's a manifesto.
And not soliciting pre-orders for games before release. And there's another detail on this that is like something out of like a Batman story, where this person has claimed that they have a daily manual thing that if they do not activate this daily, the game build will be released to the public.
Oh,
so this is like
it's like a bomb.
This is like the Joker. It's like hey, if your lawyers come and take me away. Who's gonna do that?
Yeah, because it's already timed to
it's
go
already
off.
hard coded into my whatever. It's already gonna happen. So only I can prevent this from going. This is insanity. And who knows if that's true or not?
But the threat of it, obviously,
this person seems to be completely unhinged. And
wow.
We have shared some stories of just stuff like we've heard third hand about like what Rockstar is like, and the absolute mania that they have.
The lengths that they will go to take you down
right.
is something not to be trifled with.
Like
for sure. So he's really asking for it.
It's at least on the level of Nintendo, and
I think it's perhaps worse.
even exceeding Nintendo.
Yeah.
If somebody was screaming, "It's the bloody Hindenburg" when a screenshot leaked. That's one of my favorite.
Boy.
That's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah,
that I've shared,
I mean, they take it very, very seriously.
So they are obviously, like they've said, like we were working with Microsoft and Discord to try and triangulate some information.
Some sort of IP address
to try
situation.
and find this person.
Yeah.
And it's unclear, like, obviously they don't need to share the status of their investigation, but these leaks keep coming out.
Yeah.
So
it's like daily, there's a new thing. Every single day, there's a new thing.
Right. And like part of it is like, okay, well, this is uncomfortable because they've had this thing with Netflix, and that was probably part of the arrangement of, you were getting the first reveal of gameplay, yada yada, all this stuff. So
you're getting some kind of first look.
So that makes that uncomfortable. But then if
I'm sure Netflix is asking them a lot of questions, like, what are you doing about these leaks?
But if this deranged person continues to leak the game, it's like they could just leak the ending of this game. They could leak the whole story of this game. So they do need to do something about this. It's a very uncomfortable situation for everybody to be in.
It's pretty bad.
To counter that, an ex-Rockstar developer, and this is somebody who worked at no longer works there, but worked there during like the original Grand Theft Auto San Andreas days, says, these are a nothing burger.
Oh, don't care.
And they say that most people aren't observing video game leaks, and that he was there during a real crisis, which was the hot coffee crisis.
Oh, my favorite thing.
Which I would call that a fair crisis.
That's a real crisis.
That's actually a crisis.
It was actually a very entertaining crisis.
Yes, that actually was a crisis. And that this is not going to hurt the sales of the game, which is going to be a big deal for 15 years, and that this is a blip on the roadmap to that, so don't worry about it. How do you feel about that counter?
He honestly might be right. Not everybody is plugged into
Right.
the very, day-to-day happenings
So-
of this.
so
I can see a world in which the sort of measured response, you can take that too.
So let's really like zoom out here. So, okay, you have this thing with Netflix. That's uncomfortable. Of whatever.
Sure.
This is impacting.
There's going to be some questions
to
about
some degree,
about
and
that.
it's like you're getting a phone call from some Netflix sales. guy
Exactly. You're
or
getting a phone
something.
call that you're going to have to deal with.
What is the business impact of these leaks?
I don't think.
Is it anything?
I don't think so, because I think people, regardless of whether or not they got spoiled on 2 minutes of gameplay, even if they get spoiled on the ending, I think they're going to still want to play the game anyway.
I don't think that's great if like the ending and all that stuff gets out.
But do you think, like,
But in terms of, like,
millions
somebody
of people
deciding
are
that-
going to be like, I saw the ending and now I'm totally canceling this pre-order?
No,
I don't think that's the case
No,
at all.
I don't think that will impact the decision to buy, but it could impact the way that the game is perceived, the way the game is consumed.
Sure.
If it's like, we knew all of this before it came out.
Yeah. You will lose the element of, surprise and delight, as we say.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to really impact that people are going to purchase and still play the game,
Right.
And
Exactly.
it's still going to be, like, I mean, we deal with leaks all the time. We're like, every Nintendo Direct, every surprise, Ocarina of Time, everything is leaked. But I still feel like in the moment, people are still having some kind of experience, and it's still okay. Like, that's just the world that we live in now. So it's kind of like you have to accept it. you know?
Yeah. And I certainly do not condone any of this. This is terrible stuff, and this should not continue. But there is this kind of like building pressure that accumulates, like the closer you get to something coming out.
Yeah.
And
Expectations are mounting.
and not
you're
releasing some
information.
basic information.
Well, this Netflix thing is supposed to do that.
Yeah, but
They're days away from
this is an example of just like what happens, and
wait too long.
Nintendo has often been doing this lately too. Of like, we're going to take this as far as we can. It's like, oh, look, something slipped out at the last second.
Yeah.
It's like there is this building something that makes it more
Yeah,
likely.
it's like you're filling up a water balloon, and you're very
Yes.
close to like bursting
it's
the
going to
water
explode
balloon.
at a certain point.
Exactly, and that's just like a thing that happens with when the pressure becomes higher and higher.
Right.
The other thing that's just interesting about this is sort of this ongoing tension between publishers and the fan base. Like, it's clear that there are all these things that have like rubbed people the wrong way, like this physical games thing with Sony, and like, yes, like this idea of like, I can't believe you're, taking pre-orders without showing gameplay.
Yeah.
There are certain things that these big companies with these huge games, whether it's Rockstar or Nintendo or somebody else, some people feel very taken advantage
Yeah.
of.
I mean,
And
we
there's going to be some kind of consequence.
we were predicting the GTA 6 backlash a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I think I don't understand why nobody was questioning the pre-orders without gameplay when those were happening.
Yeah.
They were saying like, you don't have to do this now. Wait until they actually show you something.
I mean, you can if you want, but you really don't have
and make
to.
Sure that, and also, it's like, there's been nothing about, Grand Theft Auto 5. A big part of that was the online side of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you 100% certain that that's part of the thing that you were pre-ordering, or is that going to be another thing that you have to
That
buy
you have to pay
and
for?
subscribe to and all this other stuff?
Right,
So,
right. It's like a little
know-
unclear what you're paying for, which
Right.
is, again,
Know what you are buying.
Things that is very sort of anti-consumer, and people,
Anti-consumer.
and people get
Oh, no.
frustrated.
Especially when there's absolutely no reason to do it, to have to do it now.
But then, again, there's just like, there's pressure from not showing a lot and the game coming out soon, closer and closer to the launch date. There's pressure from this like fan base tension, a very kind of like feverish fan base that
Yeah,
you've now
yeah.
like kind of been like jerking around a little bit. And these are the consequences of that, which is unfortunate.
It is.
But it's like one of those things where it's like, you couldn't see this coming. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Let's take a question from Patreon subscriber Baby Chris. I wanted to ask, now that you've both shared your knowledge of Nintendo and the gaming industry, what is the biggest topic or part of gaming that you still feel you know the least about? It could be something as mainstream as Roblox, or even something you heard about or were involved with during your time at Nintendo but never fully understood. Is there a game genre community or part of the industry that still feels a bit like a mystery to you?
The financial side of games continues to be a fascinating thing.
Oh.
It's like, how much does it cost for Nintendo to make a AAA game? I
Just-
would love to know.
Just for Nintendo? Or?
Yeah, just for Nintendo. Like,
Okay.
especially because we were there and that was such a black box.
Nobody knew that.
Show me a spreadsheet. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I would love to see like a breakdown of like, this is how much Breath of the Wild cost.
Yeah.
And then how much money we made, and like what was the recoup on that? That's fascinating
Yeah.
stuff. You
I'm
know?
sure that like the highest of the highs are pretty high. Like I'm sure Tears of the Kingdom was a quite expensive game to make. But,
Yeah.
but you did sell 20 million
Right.
copies.
I'm sure they
of that.
didn't lose money.
But
on
I'm also
that.
sure that the low, like how much it cost to make like Rhythm Heaven,
or like
which is,
Dragon
in some
Drive or
cases
something.
literally uses like clip art.
You mean the handsome men?
Remember the
In the-
A game?
The T game?
Yeah, yeah.
The handsome men and
Yes.
the Chad.
Yes, exactly. Imagine that. So I think they have the biggest range of costs
Yeah.
of most game developers.
I would devour, like, if they gave me every spreadsheet for
Yeah.
every game developed, like
Yeah.
in the last 5 years or something like that, with like exactly where they spent the money. That would be fascinating stuff.
Yeah,
Who can share that info?
yeah.
What ex Nintendo employee can I
Oh.
sucker into give me some deets?
When we were, or when you were playing Final Fantasy XIV, I talked about how like MMOs were something I stayed away from.
Oh yeah.
I think also just like live service games, like it's kind of very much in the same ilk for me of like, I don't want to get into these too much. So I would say like that's an area that I wouldn't say that I'm like the most knowledgeable because
Yeah.
I just don't like the idea of these games that try to capitalize all your time and you
Yeah.
feel like you can play nothing else. So it's like, it's fine for me to like, observe from a distance what's going on. But
Yeah.
in terms of like, yes, I have like the day-to-day pulse of all of these things. I would never say that I have that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even as a person that dabbles sometimes in an MMO or a live service game, I find myself keeping them at a bit of an arm's length myself
Yeah.
as well. Because I'm kind of scared, honestly, to get like sucked in.
Exactly.
Mobile games are kind of like that for me too.
Yeah,
Where we were just talking about one of our friends who is big into some of the like the Infold, like the Love and Deep Space,
Yeah.
Infinity Nikki, where there is a component to it where it's like constantly updating. There's constantly things to buy
Yeah.
or to unlock through buying stuff, and it's a bit scary how much of a slippery slope that can be. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the games we are playing. And it is time to see if the prophecy that was foretold
Oh
will
wow,
be true.
so dramatic.
Because you have been playing Pokopia. It's time for your 6 months late impressions of Pokopia. And to your credit, you said you were going to play this game pretty much nonstop on the flight. And you actually started before, right? You started
did.
before. And I saw you playing that game
You
pretty
witnessed
much
me.
pretty much the whole darn time.
Yeah, I was almost the whole time. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Pokopia?
Yeah, I actually really like Pokopia.
Oh.
It's very cute. I like the idea of interacting with all these Pokemon. I like watching them do their little things too, like when
Yeah.
they like sleep in the little bed. It's very, very cute. I like you were saying, I started a little bit before getting on that flight to Germany, and then I pretty much played the whole flight. I am almost done building my first Pokemon Center.
Nice.
In that first
area.
wasteland area. I've already unlocked the door and kind of poked into the second area and did a couple of little things there, but I quickly went back to the wasteland area because I was like, I think I have a bit more to do here. And the Pokemon Center kind of takes a long time to build.
It does.
So
yeah.
it's been the Pokemon have been feverishly
Yeah, that does take a while.
working on that Pokemon Center for like several to many hours at this point. And I've been doing other stuff while it's being built and everything. But yeah, the game is really cute, really good. I like a lot of aspects of it, like again, the interacting with the Pokemon, the the game loop of like kind of every area has these kind of specific quests, or what do they call it? Like urgent requests
Yeah.
that the professor whatever gives you to do. I like that. It kind of reminds me of Disney Dreamlight Valley, where there is like almost like a checklist of things that you are doing, so it doesn't feel like aimless. So I really like that aspect of it. What I don't really like, and this is just my own issue, I think, is like
This wasn't your issue.
it's like there's a lot of stuff in this game where like a lot of people like you would not be bothered by it. Like I did very much dislike seeing like the uneven terrain and like how some places are watered and green and some aren't, and
Yeah.
the paths aren't straight, and I have to like fill in the holes because I have like some kind of mental. I don't know. It like rubs me the wrong way.
Just leave it.
I can't.
Then don't complain about it.
I will.
This is your problem.
And this is why I was reluctant to get into the game in the first place, because I knew these things are going to bother me.
Right.
And they do. Like, and I was in that first area, and I was like, oh my God, this brick road has so many holes in it. I need to fix it. I need to fix everything.
Society has been ruined.
I need to make sure that it's all straight and
Yeah.
nice. I need to plant things in this, like, these straight lines. Like, that's just what I like to do in these
Yeah.
types of games where you customize your space.
Right.
But it is so disordered that it's driving me, like, it makes me anxious. And this is why I didn't want to start in the first place, because I knew this was going to happen.
Okay.
So, anyhow.
Interesting.
But I like it. I think it's fun.
I would like for you to keep playing through to the second area at
Yeah.
least, because I think that, for me at least, was my favorite area.
It's all flooded right now.
And there's a lot to do. So are you already in the second area then?
I went and did, like, the first part of it.
Oh, you already made it there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say keep going with that, because there's a lot of stuff that gets introduced,
Yeah.
and it's really good. Something that I was reminded of as I was watching you play is just like how smoothly the game runs.
Oh, yeah. It's
Like,
very smooth.
very clean, very smooth. It's like even on handheld, it's like, yeah, this is
No,
a really
it really is.
nice looking, nice running game on the Switch too. And also, if you get to that second area, you can check out some of the underwater stuff from the
Yeah.
update that I haven't had a chance.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
Because you're using my game key card.
I am using your game key card.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. You can't play right now because
Okay.
I'm using it still.
Yeah, I'm glad that this was not what I had been dreading and predicting. But it did feel like early on it was heading that way. But I think the game did win you over.
Yeah.
To say
This
like,
is why
oh,
you do need like a pretty significant amount of time
Yeah.
to let the game build.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
it is
It's not a quick play game.
It's not, and
No.
and that's totally fine. There's there's types of games like this for that reason. People like that kind of style.
Right, right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I finally have like just a chunk of time to dedicate to it, because again, I know myself, and I know that if I didn't have this like stretch of time, then I probably wouldn't keep playing.
Why not though?
There's just so many other games I want to play, and
All
if
right.
they're not captive, then I feel like it wouldn't hold my attention.
I'm really curious whenever the next Animal Crossing comes out, what your ultimate reaction to that
Me
is
too,
going to be.
because that was such a pandemic
Because
thing.
when that update came out this year, you did not have much staying power with that at all.
Not at all.
I didn't either, but I didn't expect to.
Yeah.
I was like,
It
yeah,
didn't win
I'm
me
curious
back.
about this, but I don't think I'm going to be deep into this.
Yep, it didn't win me back at
And
all.
now you just seem a little resistant to this type of game in general.
I'm scared of them. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know.
It causes anxiety for me, honestly.
In what
it's doing
sense?
like the opposite
In
of
terms
what
of
it's supposed to do.
In terms of the time sink or what?
Yeah, like the vast array of customizational things that you can do. Is that not even a word? Customization.
Sure.
Customization.
Why not?
That you can do is very overwhelming for me now. Like to have that much freedom, like you do in Pokopia or Animal Crossing, is like, where do I even start? And I have such like problems with I need to make everything perfect. I have such an issue with that.
Why don't you get over that?
I can't.
I think that's a solution.
I can't though. I can't. I've tried,
Oh, no.
but it just bothers me.
Oh no.
Like you saw me like very meticulously like making the lines straight for I was like I'm just gonna focus on the area next to the Pokemon Center. At least I can make that look nice, because I was like getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Because the whole world is you can remold that entire world, and that's like impossible to do.
Okay.
I need to play other games. So
All right. Well, I do
I
hope,
get anxiety.
I do hope you keep going. I do hope
Yeah.
you see it through to at least the next area.
I will.
Because I think that was really fun.
Got a flight back.
You sure do.
There you go.
Yeah. Before we traveled out here, I did finish 1,000 Times Resist.
Oh, was the ending? Did they stick the landing?
And I also, in the time between last episode and now, they did put out this Switch 2 update. So the game is now out on Switch 2.
Very cool.
There's a native version of that. There's a free upgrade if you have the old Switch 1 version like I did. And I was very interested to see the before and after of that. So to address that first, it is a step up.
Okay.
The game does look sharper, looks a lot cleaner. I wouldn't say it runs necessarily a lot better. There's still some places where it's like a little hitchy.
Oh.
So it is not like...
And you're not really doing any like incredibly sort of action-heavy
No,
gameplay.
you're just
it's
running
just
around.
the environment that
No.
that is
but
asking for power.
This game is
more
never going to be like a graphical showpiece. So it's like, on one hand, it was like, it's too bad that the frame rate is not perfect. But on the other hand, it's like,
You don't really need a perfect frame
There's-
rate
there's
for
a-
a
there's
game
a
where
lot-
you're just walking around talking to people.
No, even with the graphics being cleaner and nicer, like, again, there are still some points that I pointed out last week that just looked a little janky.
A little iffy, yeah.
And again, some parts that due to like the art direction did come across really well. So I just think it's always going to be a game where there are some compromises
Yeah.
visually or some things that are not really that impressive. But I do think it's the best version to get. I think that version is on sale. At least it was on sale when it came out. Hopefully it still is. I think it was down to like $12 or something, which I think is a really good price.
Pretty good, yeah.
I think $20 is the normal price. So good time to jump in if you're interested about that. The ending, I got to be careful with spoilers.
I was going to say, just tell us if they stuck the landing.
So there are multiple endings, which is interesting.
It is multiple endings. You were suspicious of that.
There is a thing you do near the end that will mostly direct your choice of ending. I went and watched.
The other one.
I think it's all of the endings. There were a number of them. I think I watched all of them. Some of them are better
Did you get a
than others.
bad ending?
I think I got one that was kind of in the middle. I think I made a decision that the game, in hindsight, I think the game was telling me to not do that. But it was, to me, it was like, no, I want to do this.
Oh.
It seemed to me like something that I wanted to
evil.
do based on my experience. I
Choose
don't know.
evil and
I don't
chaos.
know. I thought the ending, it does leave some questions as to like the future of this
World.
world.
And stuff, yeah.
That I think it was fine. Like, I think they could have gone down the path of let's give you more answers to everything. I think it's totally fine that this kind of left a few doors open. But I was definitely reading up on it, and some people were like a little more upset. That it was like, oh, we came this far, and I wanted to know X, Y, and Z.
Oh.
So I don't think it was like unanimously positive across the board. But I came away mostly.
Do you get the feeling that they
mostly happy with it.
left some things vague on purpose?
Sure, I think
Okay.
I think they definitely did, and it's like, well, you could probably make a sequel with.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
if they wanted to. Like,
maybe that's the reason
this
why.
world is so
you
deep
know?
and so built out. It's
Yeah.
like I don't think it's possible to answer every single question, and I
Right.
think artistically it's fine to leave some things ambiguous. Interesting for them to do it in this like spectrum of endings that are based on a choice or a series of choices that you make. I did make a incorrect statement last week when I said
You did?
I don't believe that this developer has said what their next game is. I found out they have announced it.
Oh.
It's this game called Prove You're Human.
Oh,
Which
it's kind of ominous looking.
seems very in line with this one in terms of themes.
Little sci-fi
Where
story.
you're playing this kind of like AI robot. This looks like Ex Machina. where
It
they have,
does.
like a robot with a face
with a
glued onto
human
it.
face, yeah.
And the trailer is very brief. I think this is just like their first announcement happened not that long ago.
Okay.
But it does seem to be exploring those themes, so I'm definitely interested.
Yeah.
Because they do seem
is
to be pretty dialed in on this subject matter.
Very relevant subject matter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so those are the games we've played. We've been playing some other stuff that's coming out soon that we can't talk about
Yes.
yet. I think we can't. You have been playing the Switch 2 version of Elden Ring. We cannot say your impressions.
Not yet.
Look
Look forward to that,
Look
please.
forward to that. and some other stuff that's coming out
Yes,
soon.
yes. Very
Soon,
exciting.
Soon being the key word. One more question from SJ Sharkey. Actually, let's talk about this. The Duskbloods network test.
We did play that.
Which we did play. We have
Yeah,
we have a
video
number
on
of
that.
videos up on that. But just kind of wanted to take the pulse of the community on what they thought of
Yeah.
that. So we did a little bit of a poll on Patreon. 66% people said they were not in the network test, which is fair.
Yes.
Not everybody did this. You did kind of have to have some. This was before I knew anything about this, so
Yeah.
if it's like, oh, I don't know what this is, I'm not going to do it. So I think
right.
that's totally fine.
And it was like a kind of a weird like go here, do this,
Yeah.
and check back on this weird website.
Right. So I think it makes sense
was a little-
that most people were not in this.
Yeah.
14% said they liked it. 8% said they loved it. 8% said they're not sure how they felt about it, and 5% said I did not like it.
Oh.
So it's kind of. I think that makes sense because I think it's a very dense game that they did not completely explain. That
Right.
you're kind of.
I mean,
coming,
the network test was announced before they even showed like deeper gameplay
I mean,
about this.
they officially have yet to show any deeper gameplay.
Right, but at least they did the previews.
They've shown it through previews, but if
At least they did that.
I mean, I don't know.
And you have people that are experts in this type of game that can give you some more information. At least that happened.
yeah, I mean, for a first-party game, you're kind of trained to be like, all right, I'm going to get a director, I'm going to get an overview trailer. It's going to tell me everything I need to know.
Yeah.
And in this case,
You got neither of
if
those
that's how
things.
you get your information, there was nothing.
Right.
And
right.
imagine being thrown into that.
And for a game that's
Good
actually
luck.
that has a pretty high ceiling
Yes.
in terms of like what kind of game this is, what you're supposed to be doing.
But I'm just saying, imagine you went into this without reading any of those previews.
Oof, you would be
Completely
really confused. You would
overwhelmed
be
and
lost.
lost.
I mean, I watched many previews and I was still
Right.
figuring it out in the moment. So
Right.
yeah,
Where would you
no,
put
it's-
yourself on this range of responses?
I would put myself in the I loved it.
I would too.
category.
I would too.
I really
I
loved
would,
it.
Yeah.
I really loved it.
Let's see what people said.
Had a lot
Ryan
of fun.
Wagner says, it's kind of crazy to me how much Duskbloods feels like a twisted take on Kirby Air Riders City Trial, and I love both. It weirdly makes this feel as much a Nintendo game as a FromSoft one, and I don't think anything else in particular is remotely like these games. I really appreciate From experimenting and making something weird, different, and unique like this rather than just Bloodborne 2 or Elden Ring 2, though I would of course keep playing however many of those they want to make too.
That's exactly how I feel.
So a lot of people pointed out this Kirby Air Riders connection, which when I first heard it, I was kind of annoyed at for reasons I can't exactly explain, but I was like, come on. But then I thought about it, it's like, no, that's actually pretty
Yeah,
spot
they're,
on.
they're both very crunchy games
Yeah.
with a high skill ceiling. There is like a very sort of passionate audience behind it, but also new people that are figuring it out.
No, I think structurally, it's like, all right, you're in this big space, and there's kind of these pop-up little
Yeah.
events for you to do, and it culminates.
And you're collecting things to make you stronger.
Right, and it culminates in this final activity.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that the structure, I still have some questions about like, why does Kirby Air Riders City Trial end the way it does? I feel like there would have been a stronger ending some other way, but yeah. I totally understand the comparisons, and it's funny that those are the two games that are closest in terms of
But that
structure.
loop works. You have to give them credit for that kind of, that loop is very addictive.
Yeah.
Because you get into that mode of like, oh my gosh, I need to like do all these things to make myself as strong as possible.
Right, or what's
you're
going to
very
happen
motivated.
next.
You're very motivated.
You don't
in it.
know. It's
Yeah.
very fun.
It is. It's a little chaotic, which makes it like unexpected and fun.
Sal says, it's a weird game with a mix of ideas I'm not convinced work fully well together. My initial takeaway is that I like Night Rain more, though the game looks beautiful and runs better than what I was expecting on the Switch 2.
We both have not played Night Rain.
So I am going to get that when we get back.
You're going to try it. Try it out.
Because I'm realizing in hindsight that I was probably extremely wrong about Elden Ring Night Rain, and now that I've seen this From take on multiplayer, it's like, oh, maybe I'd actually really like that.
Now you're interested.
Yeah.
And Night Rain is co-op multiplayer.
More co-op
More
focused.
co-op
yeah.
than the
I think you
PvP.
should get it too.
Okay, let's get it and play it together.
As our resident Elden Ring maniac,
I would love to.
I think you should absolutely get that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's try it out. Why not?
And then finally, Dan Crowther says, it looks like an amazing game, but I don't think this is a game for me.
I feel like that's a lot of people's response to this.
I think that's going to be a very fair take for a lot of people.
Yeah. And it's totally fine because these games are for a specific type of person and not might be you, you know?
And maybe even more so, like the fact that it's
a Switch.
Online focused.
Yeah, PvP.
PvP focused.
PvP seems to be the part that everyone is a little bit nervous about.
Well, you said you weren't particularly excited by that.
I put myself in that crowd of like, I'm not sure about the PvP parts of it, but so far I liked it a lot. And I've only made it to the final round once, so it wasn't like I got a lot of PvP in. I was doing a lot of the PvE stuff, I guess.
I did see some of the additional interviews where they were saying in the full game there might actually be different activities that replace that as the ending activity instead of the three free for all.
Three for all, yeah. 3-person.
They were saying like, there might actually be a cooperative activity where it's like maybe the person who does the most damage or survives the or something like that. So there may be some other revolving door of finales.
Great.
Which sounds great.
That sounds great. Yeah, it does seem like there's more to this game than what they've shown so far.
Yeah.
And that's just a little unfortunate that we're not getting like the full picture. Like we still have a lot of open questions after the previews and after playing the game that they've yet to come out and officially, like you said, put out some kind of official information, whether it's an overview trailer or something else, to answer some of these basic questions. So that's just a little bit odd.
Do you think this game's coming out this year still?
I do.
Do you buy that?
I buy it, but I think it's December.
So what happens next for this game?
Please give us an overview trailer.
Do you think that's actually what's going to happen?
I think we're going to see it in the next Direct.
Okay, so let's say there's a fall Direct.
Yes.
And there'll be a release date.
Yes.
And
a pretty maybe
and be sure to check out the Duskbloods Direct happening blah blah blah.
Maybe they don't even need it. Maybe they'll just put out like a lengthier segment.
I think they might need it. I really think they might need it.
It's hilarious, that quote from Miyazaki, who's the producer of this game. He was like, we at FromSoft are kind of bad at doing tutorials and telling people how to play our games. And Nintendo seems to be good at that. So that's why we wanted to go with them as our exclusive partner. I was like, well, maybe let them do some explaining then.
I mean, I thought it was interesting that he said, we're bad at that. Because I always thought that was by design. That it's like, it's fun for people to figure this out.
To just discover it on their own.
So that's interesting for him to say, like, I wish we were better at this.
He did say it, though. It was like a quote.
And
I was like, oh.
Yeah, he did. And we've both been curious of, like, what is this Nintendo relationship?
Yes.
How exactly are they involved? What are they going to do?
And for a long time, too, I was asking you, like, if you thought it was going to be a forever Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. And for a while, we were both like, I don't know, maybe it's like a timed exclusive and then they bring it to other platforms. But now it seems like you're like in the camp of it's going to be a forever Switch 2 exclusive.
I mean, I think they paid for this.
Okay.
They wrote they're
big check.
underwriting this game. So yeah, in that case, it's not coming to a PlayStation.
It can't go anywhere else.
Right.
Okay.
Unless who knows, there's
what are the terms of this deal?
A million deals that they could do. But I don't know, if I paid for somebody to make a game, like, can I put this on a PlayStation? Like, get out of here.
Or maybe they're like, you can pay this much for it to be an exclusive forever.
For
you can
a year
pay this
or
much.
Something, yeah.
A huge percentage less to be an exclusive for a year.
Or it could be a console exclusive, or there's a million ways.
There's a million ways. That's what the question, though. It's like, what is this relationship, and what is it? The future of this going to look like? Anyways.
All right. Back to our question from SJ Sharkey, which is kind of related to the Duskbloods. As a player who loves Zelda games and open adventure, but also has never really played or liked Souls-like games, can you suggest getting into Elden Ring? Or does the learning curve and difficulty make the game frustrating to play? I'm also a player who put 80 hours into Silksong, and in sheer frustration and anger, I dropped the game and may never pick it up again. No. What is your recommendation, Krista, being that you have put a lot of time into this game? Is this a pass or a don't miss? Thanks. And I have noticed every time you mention Elden Ring, the amount of time that you have spent on it
I keep playing
goes up by a matter of hundreds of hours.
I keep playing.
I played 200 hours. I played 800. I played thousands of hours.
I looked recently.
In successive weeks, these are things you have said.
I looked recently because I was going to be playing this game again. And I looked at my PS5 gameplay total, and it was over 1,000 hours.
Okay.
Because I played the base game and the DLC. I mean, those boss fights.
Okay.
2 weeks later. It's going to be a lot of hours.
Yes, yes.
I can say to SJ Sharkey that you absolutely should play Elden Ring if you love Zelda games. This might be a hot take, and I don't care who's getting mad at me, but this is basically like the best Zelda experience you can ever have. Because this is a game where if you love like the exploration of like a Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, and like kind of like that aspect of it, this game takes that exploration to this crazy degree that I've never seen before. And that's what is my favorite thing about this game. It's actually not like, you know, I'm not very good at games in general, but the exploration aspect of this game makes it so that it's so accessible and fun to play. And yeah, like if you get frustrated with something, you can just do something else. And then you can go back to the thing that frustrated you, and you know, more cases than not, you would have probably gotten a lot stronger from all your exploring. Now you can do that thing that was annoying like pretty easily.
Yeah.
So that's what I found. That's a very like, you know, cool part about this game is, yes, it is very difficult. There's difficult bosses in this game, but it's nothing that you can't overcome. And the exploration part of it makes it so fun, and it's just a beautiful world.
Except for the fire giant.
That one you have to grind through.
That might be.
You might need to watch some tutorial videos.
That's pretty deep into the game.
It's deep in the game.
It's pretty deep in the game.
That boss fight, it wasn't even hard. You're just fighting the camera. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
it's true.
Unfortunately.
It's
you can
true.
just look up ways to cheese the bosses.
Yeah. I agree with what you said. And I think
Yeah.
that separates this from other FromSoft games.
Yeah.
Is just like if you get stuck on a boss, it's like, oh,
Just leave.
the map is so big, there'll always be some place that you could never been to that you can find. And while you're doing that, you're getting stronger, and maybe you're getting some new
Better weapons.
weapon or something
Yeah,
new that's going to help you when
exactly.
you finally go back, versus that feeling of just like, well, I guess this is what I'm doing.
Yeah,
until I get
that's
past
the thing
this.
in Silksong that was really difficult for me is that, like, you know, there's that area that a lot of us fell off. I think you fell off there. I fell off there too, where there was like almost like a boss gauntlet.
There were just too many bosses.
And you couldn't leave.
I was like, this is not what I want to be doing.
You
in this
wanted
game,
to
actually.
explore, but you could not get to the next
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
So that was very frustrating, and I kind of rage quit myself. So the other thing about Elden Ring is that there's so many different types of characters you can play as. So if like you want to just beat someone with a sword, you can like make a character that does that. Like I wanted to be a powerful mage, and I made a character that did that. And I do a lot of range, and because I like doing that, and some people don't. There's so many combinations, you know? It's really fun to do all those builds.
Yeah, yeah.
Play it. So good. Favorite game of all time.
Shout out to our Patreon subscribers again at patreon.com/Kit and Krysta, who are going to be getting day one, that Tales from an Expense report.
Oh boy.
They're still watching
Drama.
you go through that German grocery store.
People are excited about my haul.
No, get all of our stuff first. That's what our Patreon subscribers do, and all the exclusive stuff that you won't find anywhere else as well.
We are also on the socials. We are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Blue Sky, and Threads.
If you're watching this or listening to this wherever you are doing that, there's so many places now.
Yes.
I don't need to list them all.
Don't list them.
Thanks for doing that, and love it if you could subscribe, give us a great review, and whatever thumbs up or stars or combination of thumbs and stars, as long as it's good. If it's not, you can keep it to yourself.
Yeah, keep your thoughts to yourself unless it's a good thought, then share it with us.
Shout out to the good people at Gamescom who brought us out to Germany.
Oh my goodness.
For this trip. Thank you very much. This is a
wonderful.
great experience.
We
for us
checked
to be
into
here.
our hotel and they gave us socks. That's next level.
That's how you know it's a
service
Jeff
there.
Keighley event.
You get a good sock.
You're going to get a pair of socks.
2 pairs in this case.
There were 2 pairs?
I'm looking at them right now. 2 pairs of socks per person.
Oh, well, I need to open this package up when I get back.
I
Okay.
mean,
2 pairs of socks. Wow.
It's very generous.
Wow.
Your feet are in
Trip's
good
worth
hands.
it already.
Your feet are in good hands. at
Okay.
Gamescom.
Your feet are in
good hands.
I'm going to have to think about that. Okay.
All right, let's shout out some wonderful Patreon community members, starting with Final Boss, Aaron Hash.
Aaron Hash.
Once again, I have no portrait to point at.
You need a travel version.
I do. I need to put them in a
A
locket.
wallet-sized.
Oh, a
you know?
a little like fold out.
Yeah.
You know, the wallet of pictures, just
Exactly.
Patreon people.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Aaron Hash. There you go.
Superstars, Eigenverse,
Mike Chin.
Roy Eschke,
VGM Life.
Link the Hero of Winds,
Angela Bycroft.
Thomas O'Rourke,
Kyle LaBeouf.
Andrew Uhas,
Chris Shuri.
Master Discord,
Travis Torline.
MSN Poke Gamer,
R. Burns.
Kit 10K,
Nathan Clover.
The Shark Among Men,
Rain Tech.
Kiss My Flapjack,
Paul Gale Network.
Cameron,
Catsily Nerdy.
Zudverf,
David Williams Conky Gamers.
David,
Khalifa Al Suwaidi.
Fenn O'Connor,
And Funky Fragilistic. Funky Fresh.
Take a deep breath.
I don't need to.
All right, here come the one-up club. Aaron Burgundy.
Ad Cool 2000.
Adrian W.
Age 1000.
Ian Evelith.
Ali Alejandro.
Allie McLovin.
Alejandro Orozco Borrego.
Andy Robinson.
Angel 8.
Angie Jojo.
Anthony Kier.
Aristu.
Art 64.
Artisan 64.
Astro Dev.
Asurax.
Awesome 46.
Bino.
Barnstorm.
Bates.
Berserker.
Bob Cleffin.
Boost Toast.
Brandon Kvapel.
Brovak Novak.
Bergerito.
Cashew.
Cedric Benson.
Shadir.
Chelly Squirrel.
Kai X.
Crispy Saurus.
Christopher Lay.
Colleen Finnegan.
Cool Blue.
Connor.
Cosmic Titan 718.
CP Coaster Lover.
Captain Alex.
C Roper 17.
Cruz and Garza.
Seinfeld.
Daffers.
Dag DeLeo.
Dallas E.
Dane.
Dennis M2.
Doghead.
Doinko.
Dre.
Dr. Saturn.
Dubs 496.
Dude Dad Life.
Eccentric Tony.
Elite Peach.
Eric Baxter.
Espars 50.
Furbound.
Fernie and Just Forever.
Fox Deploy.
Gabriel Velez.
Gamer Nerd 78.
Gary.
Garf the Wolf.
Gartooth.
Gianni.
Guilty Phoenix 42.
Gunica Joe.
Heya Jose.
Iris Marin.
Isaiah Kim.
It's your boy Jay Hoff.
Ivan.
Jay Rando.
Jabjaws.
Jack Albert.
Jahari Garcia.
Jake the Snake 22X.
Jameson Eisenberg.
J Bar.
Jerry 92602.
Jim Wakelin.
JLP Second.
Joe Encarnacion.
John Diaz.
Jonathan Rowe.
John Conboy.
Jordan Hemmerly.
Joris.
Joshua Clements.
Juji Fruit.
Justin Lemminger.
Jay Wolf.
Kaylin.
Katie Estep.
Kawa 2796.
Kevin Delane.
Katrina.
Kay Hooper.
Kilo Kibo.
Christy Eckert.
Kyle Gamerberry Rookie.
Kyle 325.
Kyle Kretzer.
Larry Fitzpatrick.
Lazy Cat for Coffee.
Leah Rao.
Lex.
Litton.
Logan Affleck.
Luke Hayabusa.
Luna B.
Lynn.
Macho Potato.
Mac the Cat.
Mad Dog 5981.
Magnificent Easy G and Callie Marie.
Mario Man 392.
Marky Man 64.
Mary Colin Colson.
Matthias.
Maverick Nate.
Megan.
May Plus Leon.
Michael Mazer.
Michael Wong.
Mikey Macaroni.
Mr. Ryan 07.
Motomania.
Mr. Andy Pond.
Mr. Beans and Dip.
Mr. Bendu 101.
Mr. Underscore.
My Trans.
Nasir.
Naive.
Nigbia Reeves.
Nimbendo 64.
Ninja 11.
Ninja Black Belt.
Novaru.
One of a Kind.
Orion.
Hangy.
Patrice Millette.
Pave the Way.
Peach Booty.
Pedro Cornell.
Firamar.
Prime Factor.
Prince Charmless.
PS Switch.
Punky.
Quintet.
Reckless Thomas.
Rob M.
Rob O.
Rob Y.
Robbie DLC.
Romsky 113.
Rocks.
Ryan Haas.
Ranetta.
Solskin 20XX.
Scott Seward.
Sebastiano Garase.
Sharif Jackson.
Shinryu.
Shiny Elizabeth.
Slowbro.
Shump.
Schnazzle.
Spacey Poo.
Spicy Munchkin.
Star Fox Jubilation.
Stuart Bradley.
Swan Battle.
Pseudo Priest.
Sritak.
21 Sick Productions.
Tales of Link.
Talica.
Tamer rhymes with Hammer.
Tanuki Dragoon.
Tay 120 and 64.
Tamer Rhymes of Hamer.
Teal Fox 64.
The Kiggers.
The Quiet One.
Thomas Alvarez.
Three Rivers.
Torcheeks.
Totally Joed.
Totamaru.
Chajawi.
Trevor Collins.
Tug's Puppy Bear.
Tusku.
Ty Bear the Bear.
Tyler Geis.
Victor MK.
Vidge Mictor.
Vinny O Games.
Viridian.
Virtual Bot.
Wobbles.
WG Grizzy.
Wicked Davy.
William George.
Yammy.
YJ Choi.
Zach.
Zelgarov.
Zapatty.
Zero Link.
And Zubari Fentez.
Nice.
Wow.
Before we go, would you like to do a mini review of any movie you watched on the airplane?
I watched The Devil Wears Prada 2.
You said you weren't going to do that.
I said that I needed to watch it. I wasn't going to put it on the background, which is what we like to do on the airplane.
Oh, so you watched it properly?
Yeah, you fell asleep and I watched
Okay.
it properly.
And?
And I loved it.
Good.
It was so good.
It was good.
It was really good.
You
It was really fun.
foolishly said, like, oh, they're going to have the Odyssey on this flight. And I was like, no, the Odyssey is still in theaters. What
I
do you-
watched the Odyssey and it was so good.
Not on an airplane.
No, I watched it the way
Why did you
Christopher
think they would
Nolan
have that?
intended. I don't know.
I watched the first 30 minutes with the sound off of Wicked.
You did not like it. I mean, you need the sound on.
Well, not for me.
You need to listen to the music, which
But
is
I think
like the best
I
part.
don't want to. I don't want to listen to the
Then why would you watch it?
What I'm going to say is it seemed pretty good if you're into that kind of thing from what I saw and didn't hear because I wasn't listening to it.
I love that movie.
Visually, I was like, okay, this is cool.
Pretty.
I'm not into The Wizard of Oz, but this seemed, I liked the approach.
Did you like Ariana Grande as Good Witch Glinda?
Sure.
Just beautiful voice. You wouldn't know.
Just the drone of a jet engine.
What a dumb way to watch that movie, I gotta say. Can you get me to sing the soundtrack to you while
No,
you watch
thank
it
you.
silently?
No, thank you.
Live in your ear?
That sounds like a nightmare.
You want me to sing to you?
It's time to go.
Okay. All right, we're going to get on with our Gamescom adventures.
More to come.
More to come. Okay, bye.